Here we are. It's that time again, the last vPub of the season before I disappear, before the channel goes dark for a few weeks and I take a rest. You can judge whether that's a well-earned rest or not, but I'm certainly looking forward to it. But before that happens, before I disappear until I return on August 24th, we're going to have a bit of community fun. I've invited 4 friends of the channel on tonight, and there's another 2 hanging out in the chat as a wee kind of control in order for us to do what we love to do from time to time, and that's put the whiskies on test and have a wee bit of a blind challenge. After that, we'll gamify things so that the folk are on test a wee bit too. I'll see you all in a second. Hello, whiskey folk. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thursday night. Welcome to the vPub. Yes, the last vPub before we disappear, before I disappear at least. There will be some things happening over the summer break so that you have at least 1 or 2 Thursday nights with something interesting happening for you while I'm away. More on that to follow in a wee second. But yeah, I think, if I'm honest, I think the reason that I still love the vPub, that I'm still energized and enthused about it, and I really look forward to hanging out with you every Thursday night, is that I do give myself that break in the summer, and it gives me a chance to kind of just recharge and reflect a little bit. And what inevitably happens very, very quickly is that I start to miss it. I start to miss hanging out with you all on a Thursday night. It's a very, very genuine feeling that happens every single year. However, when I started this thing out way back in 2017, I promised my family that the summer break would be a thing. I didn't realize just how positive a thing it could be for me too. I hope it's good for you too as well. You guys can, I don't know. I know that for some of you in the Southern Hemisphere, it's a winter break, of course. I have to keep remembering that. We're global, aren't we? But it kind of gives us a chance to maybe, I don't know, have a wee dry spell or pursue some other interests for a wee while. What I always get nervous about, though, when I think about that, is that maybe you'll forget to come back at the end of August. However, the vast majority, most of you, all of you, seem to appear back at the end of August every year, and I very much appreciate it. But before we finish up, before we say goodbye to the vPubs for the first half of 2023, what we're going to do is invite a few fun folk, trusted friends of the channel who are silly enough to trust me to step forward and put some whiskies on test and discuss these whiskies that we're putting on test and decide whether we like them or not. I will find ways throughout tonight so that you can at least participate in some form. At some point throughout tonight, I'm going to drop in a link like I normally do so that you guys can all click on that link and you can see exactly what they're sipping. So once they've locked in their favorites, once I share the challenges with them tonight, at that point, I'll drop in and share with everybody so that everybody can see what's being sipped, so that you have some interest to play at home as well. We've also got 2 people. We've got Gordon Fraser and Rob Halford sitting in the lounge tonight in the live chat with all of you guys, and they have a set of samples too. I just picked 2 patrons at random and sent a wee pack along to those guys as well. I sent out 6 sets this time. So joining us tonight, we'll have Jenny Karlsson from Adelphi. We'll have Iain Forteath, although he's not appeared yet because he's hosting a tasting right now. He'll appear at some point tonight. I hope he's going to have time to get through his trams before he jumps on. He's really keen to join us, so hopefully we'll see Iain a wee bit later. Iain Forteath is the master blender for Angus Dundee. And then I've got 2 fantastic peer YouTube creator channels joining as well. I've got Jeff Whisky, always great fun to see Jeff joining us. And I've also got Shane from the Whisky Lock. He's been on the channel before, and I'm excited to welcome him back again tonight. But before we get into all of that, I'm going to jump into the lounge and welcome some of you beautiful whiskey folk and dedicated barflies. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you're looking forward to tonight too. And I hope that you're able to stay around until the end, where we are going to bring you, of course, we have to, it's a tradition, a Menno quiz at the end. So I'll be participating along with you tonight. I have my little ABCs ready so that we can have that visual cue for us that are on video. and we'll have a wee bit of fun again, hopefully going out with a wee bit of bang at the end. Wonderful to see you all. I'm going to jump in now. I'll be looking for the orange like I always do. So if you're trying to get my attention, just type Aquavite and I'll try and pick up your comment. Jerry Miller is here. Good evening. He's saying, good to see you, Jerry. Thanks very much for joining us once more, my friend. It's always wonderful to see you. Luna Aaron from Germany. Smooch and hello. Right back at you, Luna. Wonderful to see you. I hope you're keeping very, very well. Ethan Sterner is here. Ethan, I don't know. Is that a new name? Might be the first time I've welcomed you. If it is, welcome, Ethan. Wonderful to have you, and thank you for joining as a Barfly. Thanks for your support. And he's saying, evening all. Cheers, Aquavite. Going to miss these while you're away, but I hope it's restful and a recharging time. That's what I'm shooting for, Ethan. I'll let you know when I come back in August. Nice to welcome you. Gary Carew saying, evening, Whisky folk, for the last instalment of the season. Absolutely, it is. And it's kind of always the season end or season finale and all that always sounded like a wee bit pretentious. But nobody's been able to come up with a better way of talking about the last vPub before the summer break. So we go with it. It's just the end of the season, isn't it? Another Gary Cobb is in. Good to see you, Gary. Fantastic to welcome you, buddy. Got to hang out with you in Glasgow earlier this year. We had a lot of fun, didn't we? Ellen Topper Stewart is here saying, a rest more certainly well earned, Roy. I don't know where you get the stamina to do what you do. Oh, it's easy, Stuart. Whisky keeps us going, does it not? My goodness. Too easy. But thank you, buddy. It's wonderful to welcome you in as always. Max Kreitner from Austria. Good evening, my friend. I hope that you'll have a brilliant summer, buddy. I really am looking forward to it, Max. I am. I think perhaps because of all the things that's going on right now, all the projects and all the spinning plates, I might enjoy it a wee bit more this year. Sandro is here from Italy. Good to see you, Sandro Fazzolari. He's saying good evening, Roy. Good evening, everyone. I'm glad there's another vPub, as I thought last week's was the last. Looking forward to it. Ciao, Roy. Ciao to you, Sandro. Wonderful to have you. And Pedro from Brazil, who's saying, hello there, Aguavite. Nice to catch a vPub before the summer break. Good to welcome you in too, Pedro. Whiskey Wolf is here. Good evening, Roy. Great to see you again. Fantastic to see you, Whiskey Wolf, too. Now, I had committed your name to memory, and I've forgotten it, buddy. Let's just welcome you in as Whisky Wolf, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Whisky Weekend Dram, Harrow. Good to see you, Harrow. Good to see a recycled review. Yes, that's right. I'll touch on that in a second. I know that there's not been a vPub that I've managed to get through in the last few months, deservedly so, where I'm not having somebody asking me about what's happening about the recycled reviews. And it's all on my shoulders. It's just that I've not got round to them because I did build up enough empties. In fact, I built up so many empties that I was able to film two, one after the other. They're not all edited yet, but one of them is edited, and I'll tell you what's happening with that a wee bit later. When I give you the schedule of what's happening on the Thursdays while I'm away. Willie Doler is here. Good to see you. Apologies, fella. Only half paying attention. Watching two blokes playing with a bat and ball. Of course, the tennis is all. It's a big deal. Good to see you, Willie, and thanks for dragging yourself away from the tennis to hang out with us. You're saying have a brilliant holiday. Thank you, Uncle Willie. Julian Rickman is saying, evening, Roy, even Barflies. Looking forward to the end of season party. Have a great break. Thank you, Julian. Wonderful to welcome you in. And Ryan Sutherland is here. Good evening, everyone, along with Mike Molasses. Cheers, Roy. Enjoy the time off in your yacht. And I'm Beta. Oh, I wish. Bruno Martins in Portugal is saying, good evening, Roy. Everyone deserves holidays. Thank you all for your kind wishes. And Henrik Schmidt is here saying, please don't go. And Helen is saying, nah, you're stuck with us. Good to see you, Henrik. Good to see you, Helen and Andy. Brilliant stuff. And here he is, Jimmy Legg is saying, Aquavite, be not nervous. You're well loved, my friend. We'll be back. Thank you so much, Jimmy Legg. Andrew Hammaker is saying, evening, your summer break is well earned. It just jumped there down to Andrew. And Pete Head is saying, evening, Roy, looking forward to another interesting vPub. Well, these things are always, I think it's a mood thing. It's whether you want to kind of, if you're watching some people blind tasting, sometimes I wonder how much entertainment there is in that. But there's usually lots of discussion and chat and things, especially when you're talking about, passionate YouTubers and people from the industry and things, as they're sipping blind as well. There's usually lots of interesting chat that happens around it as well. So it can be a wee bit of fun. But I think for me, the takeaway for everyone should be with these things that everyone steps forward with trust, of course, but everyone steps forward with trepidation. Even when it's the whiskey that's on test, they want to do the whiskey justice and they want to do it a service and they want to judge fairly and as objectively as they can and all of these things. And blind tasting, especially when you're doing it live on a live broadcast, can be an intimidating thing, especially when we flip it around in the second half of the blind challenge and we give them challenges to complete and then ask them to complete a semi-blind lineup. But they don't really mind whether they score 10 out of 10 or 0 out of 10 in their own challenges, because they know that their audience knows how hard blind tasting whiskey can be. And the more we step up to do it, the more confidence we give everyone in the community, the confidence to step forward and know that there are no wrong answers. You like what you like, and that's what you go for first. Everything after that is just gamification and fun. Ben Demon Hunter saying, thank you as always, Roy. I would crack up my new bottle of Wolfburn 204 Madeira, but I'm working Slanchava. I've got a very creaky chair tonight. I've obviously picked up the wrong chair. Hopefully that's not coming through to you. Good to see you, and David Brody as well. Fantastic to see you, and good to have Ben Demon Hunter in too. Stefan Novak is saying, if Scotty isn't participating, I'm not watching. I did invite Scott Monroe tonight. Scott's just about to come up upon a very, very intense week for his working week. I know he's going to be up against a difficult time in the days ahead, but he was invited. Scotty Monroe tends to always get a wee invite, Stefan. Good to have you in, buddy. Okay, I think what we'll do is we'll reach out to our first wee guest, see how they're getting on. I noticed that Iain Forteath has joined us. I'll tell you what, since all the guests are in, I'll let everybody know how this is working tonight. So I sent out 5 drams. I sent out a selection of coloured dots. Of course, it's the Aqua Vitae Blind Challenge. It always comes with the coloured dots. And I sent out a whiskey scorecard, which looks a wee bit like a tasting mat. It's exactly what it is. And then a participant scorecard as well. So they're going to line up their drams on this, and they're going to line up the drams in preference to their favourite to the least favourite. Now, that doesn't need to say that the least favourite is something that they don't like. It's just the least favourite on the night. They could love all of these drams, but they have to choose an order. They have to commit to it. So we always need to remember that. And sometimes I'm guilty of myself seeing if there's a pattern with a lot of whiskies coming in last place that we say, oh, that didn't do so well. It only didn't do so well in this company. It's not necessarily that people didn't like the drams. So that's what they do first. They put a wee coloured dot down here to lock in their favourite to least favourite, and that's it, fixed. That's the whiskies being put on test. That's them being tested, and we can get some feedback and notes on what they enjoyed. Now, of course, I've got industry people participating tonight, so you can pretty much guarantee that there will be no Adelphi products here, and there will be no Angus Dundee products in the lineup either. This is all just random whiskies. There is a very, very loose, nebulous theme, but to play along towards that theme would be crazy. There's nothing that's very much a theme that pleases me and only me. Thereafter, we gamify things. They've got their own scorecard. And at some point tonight, I'm going to share out with everybody 5 challenges. They'll write the challenge in here. So it's usually the antique whiskey, spot the non-Scotch, and all of these things. But I'll read out what the 5 challenges are. They can write it down, and when they're confident, they can put in a coloured dot next to each challenge to try and see what they can match up. At some point tonight, I'll be telling them exactly what they're sipping. I'll reveal all of the bottles, exactly what they are, and then they write in which each bottle is, and they do a semi-blind matchup using their final dots. If they want to, they can score themselves. That gives them 5 points and 5 points, trying to score out of 10, but that's just the gamification part. We don't really spend too much time dwelling on that. It can be fun sometimes, though. Anyway, that's the plan. That's how it's going to work out throughout tonight. I hope that makes sense to everybody. I'm going to jump in and welcome in my first guest tonight. And it's the first to join, so it's the first screen that pops up. And it's my pal, Jeff. He's actually got multiple aliases and pseudonyms, but tonight we'll approach him as Jeff. Welcome in, my friend. Good to see you, buddy. Oh, just recharging the pallet there. How you doing? Good to see you, Jeff. Welcome behind the bar once more, buddy.
Cheers for having me. It's exciting. It's a tactical water it was. I feel like the kid who's forgot his homework. So I'm there pinging Whiskey Lock saying, oh, what's this? Am I meant to write this? So I'm all set, ready to go. I've got Gaviscon ready. So
you're cheating. You're copying from your buddies' workbooks. That's what you're doing.
It's the only way I've got a chance. You get me, and then you get people who know what they're doing. It's not fair.
See, self-deprecation is a brilliant thing that you do, and I know that it does come from a genuine place of humility and things like that. But honestly, and I know that you've talked about being nervous for tonight, but I honestly think that, you know, the more nervous that you are, the more serious that you take it, but the more fun you have with it despite all of that, the more other people become confident to kind of have a play themselves, right? And not kind of see this as being, it's a very, very complex drink. It's a very, very difficult drink to pull apart at times. It's a distilled spirit, and it's super tricky to sip it blind. And I know from looking at you right now, I'm not suggesting it's rabbit in the headlights, but what you've been doing with 5 drams is going backwards and forwards like this, and your palate very, very quickly is all over the place, right?
Wait, they're different, are they?
Have you been able to, or was it tricky for you to decide which your favourite is through to your least favourite?
It wasn't as tricky as opening one of them. I generally have got a crack in a tooth now, and I had to get a wrench out to pry open one of them. But
I must have more strength than I always give it an extra wee twist, because I've always lost, I've often lost some liquid in a package as I ship it out, and you really don't want that to be happening. So you did manage to get it open the right without breaking anything.
Yeah, it was close. It's more my dignity. That's the thing that broke. But I got there in the end. I had to shamefully walk down to my wife and say, I'm meant to be working. It's like, can you open this for me, please?
Aha,
So,
you got your wife to open it. I don't believe you.
she
In fact,
just
I know
loosened
better,
it.
because I got the photo through with the adjustable wrench attached to it.
It was
Listen, buddy,
desperate times.
I am disappearing for 6 weeks, and I know that seems a very, very selfish thing to do, and it probably is. But I approached you this year and asked if you would be interested in jumping behind the bar for a little session. Are you ready to commit? Are you up for it?
Well, it's too late to back out now, isn't it?
Yes.
This is my test. This is
now.
not your vPub. This is just my test for when I
That's
take
right.
over.
That's right.
For one night only.
And I think that's the important thing to remember. You're not taking over the vPub from Roy, from Aquaviti. You're taking over the time slot, and you're going to do what you want to do with it. You can make it as vPubby, as themed as you like, or you can keep it as light and easy, and you can theme it much more Jeff Whisky style. It really doesn't matter. I know you've done a couple of live streams of your own in the past, so you're going to know your way around things. You're going to know your way around the community and things like that as well. I think you'll do brilliantly well. What night are you doing? Are you hosting? Which Thursday night are you going to host this?
I'm going to nod my head and leave it to you to say. I should know it's the day after my daughter's birthday, so is it the 3rd?
Yes, the third. I have it down that you're the 3rd of August.
Been embarrassing if I got that wrong.
Yeah, that's right. Your daughter's birthday. Wow. And you're sure you're going to get away with that? Okay.
I've been given a thumbs up.
I trust you. I trust you. And I can tell everybody that that looks like there's a chance that Vin might be able to take 2. He's looking at the 27th, which is the week before you, 27th of July. But he's also looking at, he's definitely in for the 17th of August, which is the week before we come back. So that's 3 vPubs out of the 6 taken care of. The other 2, next week, I'm going to release a recycled review, but I'll release it as a premiere so that everybody can turn up and participate in the live chat at the same time. And it'll almost feel like maybe a bit of a kind of mini vPub, but it's me kind of standing at the bin. So that's what's going to happen next week. And then I think what's probably going to be, it looks like the week after you then, Jeff, the 10th of August, might be that second recycled review. So that, I mean, that's 5, at least 4, but potentially 5 of the 6 weeks locked in. That's not bad, is it?
Well, it's like you never left.
Sorry?
It's like you never left. You know,
that's right. It'll feel like I never left. And hopefully I've done all the work in the background and in advance so that I can genuinely rest in the background. Jimmy Legacy, you missed a super chat, I think. Buddy, I did not. I clocked it. I think it's from Michael McDonald. And I think that might be the brother of Keith McDonald. Anyway, maybe it's not, but Michael McDonald, thank you very much. He said, Aquaviti, destined to watch on replay per usual, but wanted to jump in quickly. And thank you for a wonderful first half. Enjoying the summer break and time with the family. Michael McDonald, I hope I caught you before you disappeared, buddy. Jimmy, you were quite right to remind me about that one. Michael, thank you very much. Slancher to you, buddy. Great stuff. Okay, Mr. Jeff Whisky, you have a favourite to least favourite to share with me, right?
Yep, I am that prepared.
Okay, what was your favourite whiskey this evening?
Yellow.
Ooh, you've got yellow as your favourite. Great.
Am I wrong already?
No, there is no wrong. There's definitely no wrong on this. Absolutely, buddy. What's your second?
Green.
Okay, and third?
Orange.
Good stuff. And fourth?
Blue.
And finally, red.
Yeah.
So that's you locked in. Tremendous. Is there anything jumping out, without giving away anything that's kind of potentially going to, it's difficult to ask without you leading somebody else, but is there anything that struck you? Is there anything drawn you in a direction, or?
I've picked up some strange, I've scribbled down the notes I've pulled out. On one of them, I read the word goose. Don't know what that means.
Goose, as in goose meat, goose fat?
I have got butter below it, so it could be that, or I'm just, just goose. And that's under smell section as well.
Goose.
But that was for yellow, so I must have liked it. It's what we do down southwest.
So you've put goose as your favourite.
And yeah, I got ketchup on green.
Wow. Okay, and ketchup on green.
And clearly I'm a big fan of ketchup because that was number 2.
Yeah, fantastic stuff.
But yeah.
All right, buddy. I've got you locked in. What I'm going to do once I've got the other 3 locked in as well. Well, I need to be looking on WhatsApp for the guys that are playing in the chat. So Gordon and Rob, if you want to send through on WhatsApp what your favourites are through to the to your least favourite, I can lock that in as well. I can do that and then share it with everyone. Once I bring you back in, buddy, I'll be sharing the challenges with you, all right? So enjoy the whiskies in the meantime. Make any notes that you want to make, and I'll speak to you in a wee second.
Cheers. I'll take it easy.
See you soon. I'm going to jump straight across to Jenny. Michael McDonald is still here. Aquaviti, I'm still in. Keith McDonald, what's up, young? So I was right. Michael McDonald and his brother, Keith McDonald, are both in here tonight. Here's to brothers watching the channel. I'm not sure that's a first, but it's the first that I'm aware of. Cheers to you both, guys. Goose, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Gary. And David Brody's saying, goose, winter on Isla. Yeah, flocks and flocks and flocks of geese. Absolutely, David. Okay, let's jump in to see how Jenny's doing now. Oh, Jenny, I caught you mid gulp there. Now, is that one of the blind drams? Oh, you're using posh glassware as well.
It's a goose. I did a goose gulp.
A goose gulp. Yeah, that's right. How are you doing? Nice to welcome you behind the vPub. Sorry, how are you? Are you well?
I'm good, thank you very much. I have a brother too. It's his birthday today. Happy birthday, brother.
Oh, happy birthday to Mr. Karlsson.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of birthdays around.
Yeah.
I think there was a Barfly birthday earlier in the week as well. I've forgotten about it. But you're not tuning in from. You're usually tuning in from Edinburgh, but you're not in Edinburgh. Where are you tuning in from?
I am tuning in from Falkenberg in the west coast of Sweden. So I will be speaking Swinglish with you today.
Swinglish, yes.
Yeah, that's me.
Which is absolutely fine. So you're back home for a few days. Fantastic. Yeah. So but it's not really a holiday. You're working from Sweden, right?
Yeah, every July, my kind folk at Adelphi let me work remotely. So I make the most of it and spend usually about a month in Sweden. So
fantastic.
It's good. Yeah, that's great.
I do. I've only ever visited Stockholm and close by, but it's a wonderful place to go and visit.
Yeah, no, I'm a West Coast girl, and which clearly I still am because Arden American is West Coast, so yes. I'm always West.
Well, Coast West is best, as they say.
West is best. Look,
West is best.
I know. No, it's great. Thanks for having me back. I wasn't sure I was going to be allowed back again. I love it.
No, you're always welcome. I think it's always fantastic to have you on. I love the energy, Jenny. I really do.
Oh, good.
But you've done this before. You're not a stranger to blind drams. You're not a stranger to this kind of thing. You're quite comfortable with it. Have you found this any easier to tackle your favourite through to your least favourite?
I always find the start of it is harder. I poured my drams quite early, about 2 hours ago, because we're an hour ahead. There's a time difference between us today, you see. So I
Yes.
poured the drams a bit earlier, just thinking I would just warm up and get to know them. And I asked my mum to just have a wee nose. She was behind me. I said, just have a nose of this. And she took a swig, and you almost killed her.
Oh wow.
So
Which one did she take a swig of?
Well, she took a swig of the yellow one, so it's the one that I know. And you know what's really funny is, so in the background I'm chatting to Gordon, and he messaged me. I'm sure he won't mind. He says, "Holy Christmas, that yellow one is rocket fuel," and it was almost at the same time as I had to put my mum down on the sofa to recover from that that holy dram. So it's a strong one. I don't know what's in it, but yeah, I mean, Jeff, good luck. You put that at number one. I admire that.
Whatever's in it, Jeff is loving it. Absolutely, he's
Yeah.
enjoying it. And obviously, you know your way around a glass of whiskey. Add water, do what you have to do to
Yeah.
tame things, to open things up, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you do a lot of blind tasting at Adelphi. I know that
Yeah.
you do a lot of tasting and nosing and things like that. But I think that what we're doing here, this kind of wide open. I mean, you're not sitting with a sample of stuff that you know is
No,
from Adelphi
there's no
stock.
spreadsheet telling me. No.
That's right.
No.
There's no cheat sheet to go back and see the
No.
provenance of the casks and things like that. Here, you're really going blind, but you still quite enjoy it, Jenny, because
I love it.
I actually think you replied so quickly yes this time that, I mean, it was almost like the message crossed over, which is just wonderful. And I'm always very, very grateful of the trust, right? Because the fact that industry people can step forward and know that they're not being judged, that they're here just to have a wee bit of fun too, it means a lot. It really does.
I know. No, it is. It's look, honestly, we've had such a busy week. You'll all seen our social media this week, and it's just
the sherry cask is out, the Paul Lanois out.
Mm-hmm.
You've got a single cask in the UK out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's stuff going on in America later on after the summer, which is also happening. And it's, so I basically more or less said to my colleagues that I need people on the chat. So we've got our new colleague, Karl. He's on the chat to sort of help with any queries.
Karl Crafts is in. He's in and he's chatting away. He's a good guy, that Karl. You've got a good one there. Fantastic. And it's good.
Yeah, he fits right in. He does. He's massive.
Maybe in the future we could get a wee set of blind samples out to Karl, and he can sit in the hot seat for a wee change, right?
Oh, I know we should.
Yeah,
no, right. Thanks for asking me. I'm loving it. Yeah, and I had a wee giggle because when Jeff was reading out mine are the opposite. We've got one or two, I think, the same, and then it's just back to front.
Well, that's normally. There's been one or two blind challenges that's had some consensus on certain whiskies.
Yeah.
But more often than not, you just find it representative of the whiskey landscape all over the place. And that's what you kind of want to do. You want to kind of show that there is no right, wrong. And actually what we're not doing is good whiskey to bad whiskey. No. We're just doing different whiskies for different palates, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Put an effort into making this whiskey. Look, a few years ago, a decade ago, I would be a bit embarrassed to do this. I'm not going to lie to you because you don't want to look a fool, but I've stopped thinking about that. Yeah. I'm having fun. And I think whatever is in these glasses, I have had really good fun trying them. And I must say, some of them has been about sort of evoked feelings that I'm talking to one of them because he's upsetting me. Because I can't decide. I really like it on the nose, but then I taste it.
Well,
and I'm like,
when you drop back in a wee bit later, you have to share which one was making you upset. All right. Mm-hmm. All right, Jenny.
Okay,
give me
will I share
your favorite? Yes.
Oh, I always this is me locking them in. Okay. All right. So the thing is, they're so different. Some of them are different from the nose to the palate, but I'm just going to go for it. Lock it in. Right. So number 5, the last one, or how do you want to do it?
Let's go with your favorite to least.
Well, look, I'm from Sweden. Can we do it Eurovision style?
Okay, this sounds even better. Let's do it Eurovision style. Okay, 5th place.
Yellow. Goose.
The goose goes into 5th place. Fantastic. 4th place.
Blue, which I think was the same as Jeff, so that's cool. It's always nice when you think the same.
Okay.
And smack bang in the middle, we've got orange. And then number 2 is green. And number 1 is red. I have no idea what it is.
Excellent. So we
I had
have
leakage, by the way, because I took my samples over on the plane. I had some leakage. Still had quite a lot of whiskey in the glasses. Sorry, in the bottles. But my stickers got ruined, so I've had to use my colouring in pens.
oh, it works perfectly well, and you've got all the right colours as well. Fantastic, fantastic.
Where am I?
Yeah, that's it. That's spot on.
Mhm.
Literally spot on. Superb. So we've got red, yellow, orange, blue, green for Jenny. Fantastic.
Red,
so there is
green, orange, blue, yellow. Sorry, I confused it with the Eurovision style.
green is
Red,
your second. Good. I'm glad I checked.
green. Green is second.
And yellow in last place. Of course, that's the goose. Perfect. Okay, I'm glad I checked with you. Good. I thought I might have got something a wee bit overlapped there. So we're in good shape. So there is consensus there. Your 3 and 4 is in consensus with Jeff, but the rest of it a wee bit all over the place, which is what we expect to see. Right, Jenny, I'll drop you into the background. I'll bring you back in a few minutes' time for your challenges. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Wonderful to have you, Jenny. Thanks.
See ya.
Aye, a wee bit of consensus there. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anything. Colin McGowan has joined the Aquavitae Barflies. Thank you so much, Colin. And Gary Lewis has also joined the Aquavitae Barflies. Mark is celebrating being a member for 32 months, saying evening. Hope I can stay the whole time. Hey, Mark, I'm going to try and keep it quite neat tonight, but here we are. We're half an hour in already. And happy summer from Zenbud. Good to see you in, Tom, from Boston. Wonderful to have you. The Barflies are here keeping things ad-free. They pay $1.99 a month for access to all of those colourful little whiskey-themed emoji, the loyalty badges, the wee coloured Barflies. And, of course, the biggest thing that they do is in supporting me, instead of YouTube supporting me through ad revenue, they keep all the Aquavitae content ad-free. Love you all. Thank you so much. Wonderful to have you and participating. Andrew Butler is here tonight. Andrew, so good to see you. Sounds lead you need the help of a Shayla bot. I reached out to Shayla. She's having a very, very busy summer as well. We try and keep in touch as much as possible, all the kind of YouTube channels and things, but it's really hard to keep up, isn't it? Because we're always keeping in touch with our own communities and things as well. So you have to have that agreement that, it doesn't matter how much time passes, we can just pick it up from where we ever left off. The Ginger Genius is also joined the Aquavitae Barflies. What an amazing name, the Ginger Genius. Perfect. Thanks for your support. Okay, let's jump in and welcome in Shane. We'll have Iain last and give him the most amount of time we can give him in order to sort out his favourites to his least favourites. But we'll see how Shane's doing. Mr. Whiskey Lock himself. Good to have you, buddy. It's nice to have you in.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
There's a bit of balance here. There are 2 YouTubers against 2 folk from the industry. There is a temptation to do a YouTube versus industry, but we won't do that tonight. We've got 2 people playing a wee bit of control in the background, so I don't know where they would go anyway. Good to welcome you, buddy. You well?
Yeah, very well. Yeah,
I'm going to big up your channel for a wee minute.
Drams.
Sorry, Shane, say that again.
I said enjoying the free drams.
Aye, well, that's right. Even if you make a complete mess of it and go home with a 0 out of 10, and you didn't know anything from the last thing, at least you got some free whiskey, right? So that's the thing. Shane, I know I've spoken about your channel before. I know you've been behind the bar at the vPub before, but there's a channel out there actually that we're missing. Ben, Whiskey Geek, used to bring really quite thoughtful, contemplative content, and we really quite enjoyed Ben's kind of considered delivery, let's say. And I would very much say that while that you and Ben are completely different people with different styles, I would put you in a very similar category. There's a soothing nature of watching your content. It's this kind of nice kind of, you're filming to the camera, but you can see your thoughtfulness. You can see it blow by blow, sip by sip. And when you bring pre-prepared statements and opinions and angles and direction, you've thought it out, you've thought it through. And I want to thank you for that, because we can all step behind a camera on YouTube and shout our opinions. But when we actually think and consider things and do a wee bit of research and things, it makes it much more impactful. And I think you're doing a great job, Shane. I really enjoy watching your content. And I think it's a pleasure to have you as part of YouTube and WhiskeyTube, honestly speaking, buddy. Anyway,
Thank you very much.
I hope I haven't made you blush too much, but it's just, I think it's always worthwhile to point out when people are bringing good content. Have you struggled? Now, you've been on blind tasting with me before, but it was a completely different concept. What we were trying to do was we had expensive whiskies and we were trying to find alternative, more accessible, cheaper ones. And I think we have consensus on that. We did quite a good job of proving that that's possible that night. But tonight's different. We've got 5 drams. Did you struggle just working out what your preferences were tonight, or have you found it okay?
It's tricky in a way because there's always things that you find about different whiskies that you prefer. There's no one single linear scale to whiskey as to what's good and what's bad. There's always different things that you prefer in different ways. So when I first opened these drams, I actually had 2 pairs that were tied with each other. So the actual order was a bit tricky. But tasting these, I like all of these drams. I like all 5 of them. But after giving it a little bit of time, there are definitely some that I prefer to the others. And
that's the thing, time.
Yeah.
Because you pour it, you walk away, you let it air for a bit, you come back, and they're busy, shouty at the beginning, right? And they kind of smash into each other a little bit. But with a bit of time and with a bit of patience, they start to, I think the definition pops up. I was hopeful that I'd picked 5 whiskies in this session to keep it light that would be clearly definable from each other, right up until I started to confuse myself and not fully trust that I was picking the right things. And that happens so regularly. It's so easy to second guess. All I need to do is turn these wee coloured dots away, instead of facing me, turn it the other way, and suddenly, things change. Because there is some difference in colour here, but there's not a whole lot. There's not really any kind of really dark, rich sherry, and there's not really any kind of really pale, young, youthful, or refill bourbon or anything, right?
Yeah.
That's the 2 extremes probably you're holding up right there. Yeah. So that's as much as the colour variation gets. So it's not easy, buddy. It's tricky. That said, have you locked them in?
I have. And I was interested what you were saying about the previous tasting and how on the previous blind tasting that we had with Jeff and myself, we did have some consensus going for the first few drams, didn't we? And I thought we might have some this time as well, because on the first one, I think it's all about the goose.
Goose.
The yellow dram.
This must be an English thing. So you're putting yellow up front.
Yeah, I'm not getting goose on it.
That was the question I was just about to ask you. You might have picked it as your favorite.
Yeah.
But are you picking it as are you picking it any kind of goose? I mean, I don't even know what a goose tasting note is, or a goose. What specifically makes? I mean, game I could understand, poultry I could understand. I don't know, but goose. Oh, let's go with it. So you're putting yellow up front, are you?
Yellow up front, yeah.
Fantastic, good stuff.
I'm not getting any goose on it, but me and my girlfriend are actually vegetarian, so if there is any goose in there, it's going to have to be a live goose for me. But definitely yellow is a fantastic
fresh goose, still running about the paddock, still running about the field, right? Fantastic. What comes up in second place then?
Second place is one that I had tied with first place for a long time, which is red, which I think is another really nice, bold, punchy one. I think there's a good ABV, good amount of power to that one. So red I put in second. And third and fourth I had tied as well for a long time, but for third place I went for blue. And fourth place I had green. And the runner-up, last place, I had the orange.
So orange in last place. So you've got yellow, red, blue, green, and orange.
Yep.
Fantastic. None of you know what you're talking about. Because none of you agree with me, right? So, and there is some consensus there. There is some overlap. I've just realised I need to lock in mine tonight, and I have actually changed my order, which of course you always do. But I'm just going to lock in mine so that when the folks see this, they can see what my favourite to least favourite was as well. That's that done. So I've got you locked in. I've also got Gordon Fraser's here. I'm still waiting on Rob Halford's. So he's saying he's not getting any goose on any of these, but he's gone favourite to least. He's put orange up front. Good stuff, Gordon. A yellow, but he's given me some expletives for yellow, but he's enjoying it. He's put it in second place. Red in third place from Gordon, which means fourth blue, which means green in fifth place. So we've only got Rob Halford. I've not even seen Rob in the chat tonight. I hope he's in. Hope he's doing okay. And Mr. Forteath. Buddy, thank you so much. I'll leave you contemplating your drams. I'll bring you in for the challenges in a wee minute. And it's great to have you, fella. See you in a bit.
Cheers.
Right. I think we'll just have a wee check to see if Rob Halford... Rob, he's waving at me. He's waving. Rob, you just need to WhatsApp me through your favourite to least, buddy, so that we can get you locked in as well. You've still got a couple of minutes because we've still got Iain Forteath to come in as well. And then we can get on to the crunchy stuff. We can get into the challenges. And I can share with everybody that's watching tonight exactly what these folks are blind tasting. We'll get them all in together so that we're all on screen at the same time and have a bit of fun. But in the meantime, I hope our Iain has finished. He's managed to deal with his online tasting that he had tonight. Work comes first, of course, in order for him to relax and have, I don't know if you would call this pleasure. Let's see. Iain, good to see you, my friend.
You too. Sorry for the rush.
No, there's no rush at our side. You might be feeling like you've had to rush, but are you comfortable? Are you settled? Are you okay?
Oh, good. I've just power-nosed 5 drams and tried to pick favourites. I mean, you know,
well,
all good, thank you. Yeah.
If anybody's going to power nose 5 drams, we'll bring in a master blender to power nose 5 drams. Okay. Now, I appreciate what we're doing here is that you're not nosing heavily reduced things and selecting cast by cast. You're going straight into ABVs all over the place, right? You're trying. This is a completely different thing than from what you would do for a job or a role. But you have often declared to me, and any time that we're in company, and it's the most redundant words ever that comes out of your mouth. You say, "I'm a passionate whiskey geek," because it exudes from every one of your pores, Iain. Every time that we have a discussion, it's like we're all over the place. It's like we can't. It's difficult to stay on a single topic because we're excited to talk about everything, and that really does come across. I think it's brilliant.
Cheers. Thanks. Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, it's true, and I know that it's to be true because the things that anytime when you give me a little sample or things like that, and you're not giving me. In fact, the only time you've ever given me a sample of your own stuff, I think, is that when we met a few days ago, and you've only given me a sample of that because of how much I bang on about the whiskey and the fact that it's finally coming back. Can we take a minute to talk about it? Can we?
Of course, as long as it's okay with everybody else. Yeah.
Right. So Iain, from the boot of his car, showed us the brand. Can we talk about it? Is it okay? Is it embargoed at all?
It's not. It's kind of just about to be released, so it's okay. I think it's all right. I mean, I have some in the house, so it must be okay.
Okay. So there is a whiskey that I love. Well, I loved Glencadam generally. I think you're doing a great job up there. I love the majority natural presentation that you have. I love the quiet, really subtle side of that whiskey. It's difficult to find subtle whiskies and core ranges these days, Iain. There's so much attraction to having big, bold and punchy rim pleaser flavors from cask and things like that. So many of the Glencadams are beautifully delicate, balanced, subtle whiskies, just wonderful to take time with.
Cheers.
But obviously, because of the years you were closed between 2000 and 2003, you've had discontinuation. Firstly, the 15-year-old, the year that Ralphie named it as Whiskey of the Year, it went discontinued. Then the 18-year-old went discontinued, and now we're sitting through a discontinuation of the 21. Makes sense. You don't have the stock if you weren't producing, right?
Yeah. It was literally silent for 3 years, unfortunately. So, it's one of these things. There was the discussion of overaging, but actually we figured it's better just to hold fire and kind of bring back the loved age statements and the kind of classics when we have time.
Well, especially if overaging is going to make it more expensive for us, buddy, if I'm honest, right?
Well, there is true. There's that too.
So this is obviously the one I've got in my glass. It's not even out yet. I did get a chance to see the label. I saw the bottle in the boot of your car. Wonderful. So it's very in keeping. There's not much of an evolution from the old style. That's brilliant. Just please keep that, but keep that Glencadam style. Evolve it, yes, nudge it along, sharpen it up, do what you want it, but keep it looking the way it is. It's like nothing else on the shelf. Absolutely love it. I really do. It's just that perfect, almost what whiskey you look. There's no way you could mistake it for a bottle of wine.
Yeah,
you're not going to mistake it for a bottle of gin. Yeah, all of these, you just know that you're looking at a bottle of whiskey. Anyway, this is the 18-year-old, and I've already had a wee nip of it. I suspect that, well, I'll get to that in a minute. All the things that we love about it, the peach melba, the white stone fruit, the freshness is all intact, and that lovely, delicate sweetness.
It's an easy job for me, really, because I love the drams as they were. So there's no like kind of heroism. I'm not trying to make it my version. I'm trying to make it as to the
faithful
as possible. Yeah, because I really like the original. So there's no kind of tweaking, really.
Well, it's still wonderfully light, but I would say that this is a wee bit more golden.
Slightly darker than the last, yeah. A little bit more active wood to a degree, just due to what we have. So the first fill element of this has come up a notch, mainly because we had a much better control of kind of cask policy since taking over, really. But again, I've tried not to overamp it. There's other whiskies in the Glencadam range that give you that big kind of American oak hit. This is not completely dialed up to 11. It's still letting the spirit talk.
The 10-year-old is balanced. The 15-year-old is balanced. What I have up there of the now discontinued 18 and 21 are balanced as well. But you've got, like you see, you've got the special releases and things. You've got your 13-year-old that you can be a wee bit more playful with. You've got your port woods and your Oloroso woods and your these releases you can really start to play with if you can keep that really unique spot. I think that in time, because nobody, it's crazy how few. If somebody says, "Yo, Roy, give me an example of a good bourbon, exclusively bourbon matured whiskey," Glenmorangie 10, okay, about 40%. So you're kind of going, okay, Deanston, and you start to realise that despite it being 90% of the whiskey maturation in the landscape of Scotland, it's really difficult to find the core range, right?
True. I think it's one of these things that as a recipe. I mean, Glencadam, it's fair to say that it's only just really kind of starting to come into the limelight on the consumer level. On the industry side, it's been well known for a long time, but in terms of kind of people seeing it and being able to pick it up, and thanks to yourselves and Jeff is another big Glencadam fan. I know it's nice to see the reputation of Glencadam grow year on year and be able to kind of shout about this whiskey that I love. But yeah, I like them on the basis, and they did this before I was part of the company, but I like them that they're understated in the basis that they let the spirit sing. We do different releases, like you say, we play around with different finishes, but actually Glencadam spirit left in a reasonable cask is great. You don't need to do much with it. American oak, but even I say refills and kind of casks which are not particularly loud and shouty, just give it time. That's what Glencadam needs is just a bit of time to come into its own and slowly kind of become this really fresh.
I'm a total convert. Glencadam is responsible for beginning and ending an entire series on this channel, Hero Whiskies, right? And I did a vPub, a Hero Whiskies vPub, and I talked about the Glencadam 10. And I talked about why I realised that it was a dangerous thing for me to do and why I decided to not continue it. That said, that accolade rests with Glencadam 10 that it was actually the one that inspired that whole kind of concept. And if anybody comes to me and says, "Oh, Roy, I've got, it's the budget, it's got to be good, it's got to be," Glencadam 10 is just one of the easiest things to recommend. It's just I love the humility, I love the integrity, I love the honesty, I love the almost take it or leave it. This is what we're going to do. We're not going to kind of play with the cast too much. I love it. Anyway, fantastic. I'm looking forward, but bear in mind there's two things I'm going to suggest to give you a wee heads up for. I have kept a fully intact sealed bottle of the old Glen, because we're geeks. That's what I love to do, right? And I know that it's going to show a difference. That's entirely the point. I've kept the old 18, and when I get my hands on a new 18, at some point I'll figure out how to weave it into a vPub topic in the future. Talking about vPub topics, I've come up with something, and I think you're aware of it, but we haven't discussed it. What the industry drinks.
Yeah,
that way we can get people from the industry, whether they're in business development roles, sales roles, whether they're in production, whether they're in product development like you do, master blender, whatever it may be. Everybody just, if they're passionate whiskey geeks, they want to talk about what they're enjoying.
Yeah.
Give them a platform to come on, talk about all the whiskies that they love. including their own whiskies, of course.
Absolutely.
I think you'd be a perfect guest. Are you up for it?
Yeah, I've literally just finished my whiskey bar next door. So
I've been rude enough to ask you live, so you have to say yes.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely up for it. That sounds good. And again, I mean, as you know, I've shared many times with you that aren't ours as well. I think that the joy of whiskey, it's great to be on screen with people that I know and also know that all have whiskey as well. I think it's all the flavors, all the different styles are what make it what it is. And yeah, I think that although distilleries can do different styles of distillation and different styles of product, if all you do is focus on one, then you're missing out on a huge variety of other flavors. So yeah, it's nice to be one of those contributors to the great industry that is Scotch whiskey. But I'd be naive to think that we're the only ones or the be all and end all. And I think that's what I love about it generally. And when you said it exudes from my system, that bookshelf there is literally all whiskey books, which shows that I have no life. I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, testament.
I do occasionally. I'll check with my kids. Because we all know that I'm obsessed, right? It's just a fact. It's just I'm obsessed. So that's a given. But I want to know when it crosses over into being a bore, right? And as long as I'm in whiskey company, it's not boring. so that's fine.
Just choose the best company. That's the key.
That's right. James DeGiulio, good to see you, James. He's bought us a wee dram. Oh, you star. Just to carry you through to summary saying, oh, that's brilliant, James. Thank you so much, buddy. And Jimmy Legg has bought us a dram to saying cheers to Glencadam. And in brackets, and to Roy. Thank you very much, Mr. Legg. In fact, I'll raise this, Glencadam, to say thanks to James and to Jimmy Legg. Cheers to you both.
Cheers, guys.
So looking forward to having you over the course of the next year or so, Iain. That would be brilliant to reach out to you at some point in the future. But in the meantime, down to business today. We've only got yours and Rob Halford's to lock in. Have you managed to do it? I know you're rushing a wee bit.
I have. So I'm not trying to play my fiddle too early, but I have a blocked nose at the moment, or a semi-blocked nose, which you can maybe hear. So I'm definitely not on my peak. And so if you're putting money on anyone getting the best answers, I'm not your first horse. But no, I have had a good nosy. They're a funky bunch of things as well. I quite enjoy them. A good variety.
So it is a wee bit eclectic tonight. I'll have to be honest with you.
I like it. I think there's a couple that I felt familiar-ish with the style, not necessarily with the drams.
Okay, yeah.
A couple that are a bit different, but I have just come off a 6-dram tasting before that. Obviously, I wasn't partaking too heavily. So when I started with the yellow, it just about killed my palate. But
wow, yeah.
But no, yeah, I think I've got a lineup. There's a couple that are pretty close.
Okay. I think let's start at number 5. I quite like the way Jenny did it. Let's start with the one that you put in 5th position.
So again, there was kind of rockets in between, but I think red was probably my least favorite.
Red pulls up
position
number 5.
Which doesn't mean it's bad. It just means that for me, it wasn't. There's funnily enough, when we're talking about goose, I got kind of a vegetal asparagus kind of note kicking about in this one.
Asparagus.
So I'm getting, it was more tomato plants, but there was like a kind of funny, kind of tangy vegetal thing that is interesting, but isn't a dram that I would like jump for. I might eat my words on that one. And actually, I've tried to cut them a little bit, try again, just as a bit of dilution. So I've tried them all straight, and then I've tried to kind of see if I can change it.
Super interesting. Good, okay.
Yeah, so I'll go with red as number 5. Number 4, again, some close ones. I'm going to opt for green for that one.
Green and number 4, okay.
Which I don't think is akin with anybody so far. I'm a bit all over the place too. Like Jenny said, being the total opposite of Jeff, I think mine's just a bit wibbly wobbly too.
Shane, Whiskey Lock has got green and number 4.
Yeah, okay. Good taste, Shane. Again, it was kind of tough in 2000. I went for orange for number 3.
Number 3, you've got orange. Good.
On the principle that I could drink that a lot, it's very quaffable, but maybe lacking some of the oomph that the others had was my rationale. That's the only reason.
I get that completely. Yep.
Then I went for yellow as number 2.
Which means your favourite of tonight's lineup is the blue, and you're the first to put the blue there. I keep spinning these things around and having a wee look to see what they are. So we've got you locked in as a favourite through to least favourite. We've got blue, yellow, orange, green, and red.
Yeah. I think
fantastic.
I'm questioning myself because I've spent all day at Glencadam and then doing a 6-dram Glencadam tasting. So whether it's just because it's got some peat and it's totally different to everything I've tried all day.
Listen, so not only have you got a full day at Glencadam, not only are you struggling with a cold and a blocked nose, not only have you just been off hosting a tasting of 6 drams for other folks. No, it's just I'm very, very grateful. Thanks for staying up late. Are you on a curfew? Are you able to stay till the end? And
I'll be around. Don't worry.
Menno's here with a quiz.
Oh, brilliant.
Hopefully he's going to be here. He's also working very late as well. But he's sent the quiz along in case he doesn't make it. It'd be brilliant to have you to the end, buddy. All right, I'm going to call you all in a wee minute for the challenges. Thanks for your participation, buddy. Thank you, Iain. Cheers. Brilliant. I hope that the enthusiasm that I get every time I hang out with Iain and talk to Iain comes across on screen as much as it does when you're with him in real life. So Rob Halford's favourite is orange. So he's agreeing with Gordon Fraser. He's enjoying the orange as his favourite. Green is his second favourite, which is agreeing with Jenny and Jeff. Blue is in the middle for Rob, which is the same as Shane. Yellow has been all over the place. He's put yellow in fourth place, and that's the biggest spread there. That we call it the goose, the yellow goose, right? That is in fourth place. So literally that's been placed almost everywhere for everyone except for the middle. So that's our most kind of divisive. And then he's put, Rob has also put red in fifth place. I'll share with you now what my favourite to least favourite is. And now that this is complete, I can do a wee bit of a slideshow here and hopefully do a screen share on this by bringing this in. That is the final placements. Now, isn't that wonderfully random and all over the place? Of course it is, because it's a tiny amount of whiskey, 5 drams. It's a tiny sample of tasters all over the place, all in different moments, all in different conditions of health, eating different foods, all of it. You're not going to get consensus doing these kind of things, but it's still good fun. And it's still good fun. It's still good to demonstrate that and prove that. I'm going to declare my favourite to least favourite night right now, as you can see there. Orange is my favourite on the night. Red is my second favourite. Blue is in the middle for me. Yellow is my second. The yellow goose is agreeing with Rob and putting it second from last. And for me tonight and on the night, and this is a very strange thing for me, I'm talking about what I picked tonight. Now, I know what I've poured. I know what's in front of me in the glasses, and I was doing a good job of guessing which was which tonight, but I had to go with how they were tasting for me tonight, and I put that green in fifth place. So there we have it. So what I'm going to do now is we'll take that away. I'm going to go in here and share this with all of you, and this is where trust really does come into it, because I'm going to share this publicly now for everyone. And I know for a fact that the people participating, including Rob and Gordon in the chat, will not be interested in ruining the second part of it, the challenge. They will be having too much fun. There we go. I'm going to pin that. Hopefully, let me just double check that that link is working and it's working well. Do a wee test just to make sure that it's the right thing coming up. There you go. So you'll be able to see the coloured dots that I've just shown you. What you'll also be able to see is the challenges. Okay, everybody, I'm going to bring you all in just now. So we'll bring in Jeff, we'll bring in Jenny, we'll bring in Shane and Iain. So there we go. I don't know if we're able to make it a wee bit better. There we go. So here we go. This is when it starts to get fun. You've had your time drinking your free whiskey now. Right? You've judged the whiskey. You've brutalized the whiskey. You've decided what you love and what you don't love based on all the caveats and conditions I've outlined tonight. Great stuff. Now we have a wee bit of fun and we try and see how your palates are working and whether you can determine some fairly, I was going to say basic challenges, but they're actually not. It's much, much more complex. I know what this is like. So here goes. Are you ready for this?
Born ready.
There's your favourites. So here are your challenges. Pens at the ready. Fill in those wee 1 to 5. Challenge number 1. Find the new Scottish distillery. Now it's easy for us to we can write off Ardnamurchan. I wouldn't put Ardnamurchan in there, Jenny. There's apart from anything, you'd probably find it quite easy to pick it out. But number 2, find the new English distillery. So we've got a Scotch distillery and an English distillery here, both new. Number 3, I've got a blend in here. Find a blended Scotch. Nobody said the blended word, but maybe you've been able to get your head around something that comes across as a blend. Challenge 4 is find the early 2000s antique in inverted commas, of course. But we're talking about a bottle that's been sealed for a couple of decades. A bottle that's been sealed since the early 2000s. I can tell you that it is a core range. Not that that helps you much at all. And finally, find the 12-year-old Scotch.
Huh.
12-year-old. Yes, it's core range. I don't know if that helps you. I don't know if that helps you at all. No.
Sure.
So
This is torture, but I love it.
Do you know the worst thing that can happen, in my experience, and I'm speaking about me specifically here, is for you to think, oh, I think I know what that is. I know what that is. And suddenly feel confident, right? And then suddenly go into it, declaring and you know, being immovable from that point on. However, I'll leave you to it. These are your challenges. You've written them down.
So
once you're
go
ahead, Iain.
New Scotch, New English, blend, antique, and then 12-year-old, right? That was the order.
That was it, yes.
I was too busy writing down my ideas for what they were. I didn't actually complete the questions.
That was you getting excited. Right today. Right.
Oh, look, Jeff is away with his stickers there.
If I don't think about it, then I don't need to worry.
Well, that's some commitment right there. Just going straight ahead and going for it. Brilliant stuff. Okay, so all you guys that's playing along in the chat, if you click on the link, you can see those challenges. You can also see what they are sipping. But please be very, very careful in chat. Keep it to yourself. They are participating. They are reading the chat and things like that. And they won't know whether you're telling the truth or bluffing or what you're doing. So just try, just for a wee bit longer, to play no spoilers and let these people have a wee challenge. Guys, I'll give you a few minutes.
Okay.
Oh, just a few minutes for this one, and I'll bring you in again very, very shortly.
Okay, thanks.
Good luck, all of you. Good luck. Good luck, Iain. Good luck, Shane. Good luck, Jenny, and good luck, Jeff. Terrific stuff. So there we go. So we've got a wee bit of a comparison there, and there's no intention here to compare Scotch against English new distilleries. No, it's just that I picked 2 new distilleries, one from north of the border, one from south of the border. I picked a blended Scotch. I picked an early 2000s antique bottling, and I picked a 12-year-old core range release. So let me hang out with some of you beautiful whiskey folk and dedicated Barflies for a wee bit here. Thank you all for participating in the last vPub. Like I said earlier in the stream tonight, there are some provisions in next week. At the same time, the vPub slot time, you'll be able to come onto the Aquavitae channel and watch a recycled review that goes out as a premiere. There'll be a live chat that happens alongside that. It runs for about half an hour or so. It's quite a long recycled review, but you'll be able to watch it and have a chat and hang out. It's almost like it's a mini vPub without me hosting it. I'll just be standing at my bin, obviously. And then 27th of July, there's a chance that maybe Vin might be able to step into the breach, but he's checking on that just now. He's definitely going to be participating on the 17th of August. So the week before I return, Vin will be hosting that vPub time slot, and Jeff has already committed tonight to doing the 3rd of August for you. That leaves the 10th of August. It actually also leaves the 20th as well. So the 20th of July and the 10th of August are currently both free nights. But on the 10th of August, I'm hoping to release another recycled review, and if I do that, if I manage it for the 10th of August, I'll put it out as another premiere so that there'll be a live chat that goes alongside it, and maybe on that one on the 10th of August I'll be able to participate in the chat with you and watch it along with you and cringe and listen to my own voice and nonsense. Great stuff. Tom Elmer is here. So good to see you, Tom. I hope you're keeping very well, my friend. Wonderful to have you in. Chris Banks Wildlife is saying, have a great holiday, Roy. Try not to get red. It's inevitable, buddy. I will be red. The good thing is that, you know, it's the Billy Connolly joke, right, that Scots have to, we're pale blue, we have to tan white first, white, then pink, and then eventually just a kind of darker pink. Well, that's how it is for me. Everyone is here. Chris, so good to see you. My friend Ahoy Maltmates is saying out lurking mode as I am home. Hope all is well. Everything is brilliant. I'm enjoying my last little session, Chris, before we all pack up the vPub for a few weeks. Petehead is saying out of balance, shout out, desperately needed. Oh, Frank, I wonder what's out of balance. I hope nothing's out of balance. And if it is out of balance, I hope it's happily out of balance, buddy. Always good to have Frank Petehead in. Andrew Hammaker is saying, working here. Well, you're having to work. That's unfortunate. I hope you're managing to keep an eye on the fun. And Andrew Butler is saying, still colourblind. So thanks for the commentary. And oh, sorry, buddy. And it was pointed out when I first did the Aquavitae Blind Challenge with these coloured dots. I thought it was great. I thought it was just fantastic. And the colour dots. And lots of other people started to use colour dots as well. And then more and more people came out saying, well, I struggle with colours, and there's different, I'm starting to understand the different types of colour blindness. All of it, or the majority of it, still affecting the fact that I use coloured dots. So what I would say is that, maybe in the future I should do numbers and colours. I don't know how that would work, but hopefully with me giving some form of loose commentary, it's helping you. Elswid is asking everyone to hit the like button. That would be fantastic. 350 odd of you in. And we've got 142 likes, but that's normal. I forget to like things too. I should remember to hit the like button a wee bit more often. It reassures everyone that it's legitimate content. Whether it's successful content or not, it's subjective, of course, but we try our best. Jim Morse is in. Jim, so good to see you. Going to have to watch the rest on replay. Enjoy your break. Jim, thank you very much for all your support this year. Look forward to welcoming you back after the summer. And Graham Fraser, seen even Roy and Barfly friends just heading home from a late shift. Hope you're all good. And Whisky Mystery is in an entire channel with a huge chunk of it built around the concept of blind tasting. Phil and Deepa, fantastic. I managed to get that package out to you last week, buddy. Jimmy Like is saying, how could you pick 5 whiskies I've never had a sip of? How do you decide what to pick? I'll get to that, Jimmy. I'll get to that. But Jimmy, you're in Nova Scotia. It's very, very difficult for you to get whiskies, and it's very, very difficult, therefore, in order to pick whiskies that we know that Jimmy Legg can get over in the east coast of Canada. I know it's brutal for you, buddy. I know I'm laughing. I know it must be frustrating for you. You're not alone. There are other provinces out there in Canada and other places right across the world that really don't get anything like the variation and the variety that we get here. But likewise, I often travel to the States and see that the variety that they get there and lots of things that we just don't ever see. Annoyingly, some of it's Scotch. James DeJulio is saying, what is a late shift, Graham? So he's you tagged me there, buddy, but a late shift, if Graham's just in the door, Graham's always on a late shift. If it's Graham Fraser you're talking to, but it's mostly a whiskey shift. Carl Craft is saying, Nova Scotia is on my to-do list. So that's Carl talking about bringing some Adelphi products to Nova Scotia. Great stuff. And Jimmy's saying, still, I've had literally hundreds of whiskies and not even one. Sorry, Jimmy. When we all get together on the 30th of September for Legfest in the Bonaccord, I'm a wee bit worried that the whole night will just be Jimmy Legg giving me a hard time. I'm only kidding, buddy. I know it's not going to be that at all. Jim M has bought me a wee dram as well. I just picked up that super chat, Jim. Thank you very much, Jim, you superstar. I look forward to seeing you in August, buddy. Cheers. And Whiskey Wings. He's celebrating being a barfly for 27 months. Excellent topic, blind drams, fantastic. Whiskey Wings is part of a podcast out there called Honest to a Malt. So if you're looking for some, they're putting out some regular episodes as well. I can hardly keep up, guys. Putting out regular podcast content as well over on Honest to a Malt. And if you're still hungry for podcast content after that, Dramface, a members podcast went out this week. It goes public on Monday. And then 2 weeks' time, we'll follow up with another public release. Obviously, it'll get released early to Dramface members too. So lots of content to keep you busy over summer. Roman is here saying, I have to check out for tonight. Thanks for some great whiskey moments in the first half of 2023 and enjoy your holiday, Aquavitae. Thank you very much, Roman, for all your support. And thanks for enjoying hanging out with us in 2023 so far. Cheers to you, buddy. All right. Let's get them all in. And we'll reveal why Jimmy Legg is so upset. We'll reveal what the whiskies are tonight, shall we? Let's bring in our guests. Let's bring in Jeff. Let's bring in Jenny. Let's bring in Shane. And bring in Iain. Are those dots, or have you just coloured your face, Jenny? Is that what the yellow goose has done to you, Karlsson?
That's what you're talking about.
You got goosebumps.
Do you know how stressful this is?
It is stressful. It is. And I think that one of the things, no, I'm not going to make any points. When I summarize at the end, I can make the points because you
Right.
might actually invalidate some of the things. And then there's no point in talking about it.
The
But yes,
plan is to distract you and just make you forget to ask me for any answers.
that's right. Even if you succeeded,
Honestly.
there's over 300 people that would demand right now what you're all about and what you're doing. Okay, I'm glad that you're feeling it. I'm glad that there's a wee bit, because that means that there will be a release soon. As soon as I tell you what you're sipping, it's all going to become clear. And the semi-blind at the end is going to be just dead easy. It's going to be a piece of cake for you all. Let's go in the opposite direction this time. Let's start down with Shane, as you've appeared on the screen tonight. Shane, have you managed to lock in, and I'm not looking for the answers from you yet, have you managed to lock in your 5 challenges you've committed?
I've managed to have some guesses. I've locked in something. Yeah.
Well, let's do it a wee bit differently this time. Let me just ask you, if I go through the challenges one at a time, and you can tell me just the colour for that one, and then what we'll do after we've done that, you can hold up your scorecard for posterity, and everybody can see your locked-in colours. Okay, Shane, which colour did you pick for the new Scottish distillery?
New Scottish distillery. I went with the red.
You picked red. Fantastic. Good stuff. Any kind of thought behind it? Were you picking it up that you thought it was youthful or young?
Yeah, there was a little bit of a sort of process of elimination going on there, but I think that the red has got a little bit of youth to it. It noses and tastes like a good quality whiskey, but I think that it's not an old whiskey. So I went down that route.
New Scottish distillery for red.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Good stuff. That means I'll come round to Iain now. Iain, did you think you found the new English distillery? What colour did you put down for that?
Well, I've potentially ballsed it all up again, but I thought you might have thrown in a red herring. So I went with green.
Green.
I did. Although if you ask me which distillery I think it is, I have no idea, but I went with green out of curveballism. But maybe I was overthinking it.
There is no such thing as overthinking it. You've got 5 drams, 5 random categories. You're trying to match them up. I put green as my least favourite tonight, and I've just taken a sip of it, and it's gorgeous. I suddenly want to change my mind, right? It's like, oh dear, that's incredible, isn't it? Just how it changes as the night goes on, and how your palate's getting messed about by sipping different things. So Ian's gone for green for the New English distillery. Fantastic. Jenny Karlsson, did you think you found the blended Scotch?
Oh, did I find the blended Scotch? I have put, so the blended Scotch is either, well, I put 2 colours. Is that okay?
If you're confused, it's because all the colours are on your face and forehead.
It's either green or orange. So what I'll do, so pick one of them.
You have to commit. Yep.
All right, I'll pick.
If you mix green and orange, I just think you end up with brown.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm going to pick.
I suppose a blend.
Okay, I'm going to pick orange. Pick orange.
Yeah, orange. Fantastic. Jenny's committed to orange.
Orange for the blended. What else do I have to do now?
Well, I hope that you've committed to them all. I hope you've got something down for them all, because in a second I'm going to ask you to hold up your wee card with the coloured dots in. But not before I go to Jeff and ask Jeff to tell us what colours did you put down, Jeff, for the early 2000s antique bottling, so something that's been in glass for 20 years, and also a 12-year-old core range Scotch. Jeff, what did you answer?
I just panicked, to be honest.
We all did.
I put 3 different stickers on the early 2000s one, and I kind of put them on top of each other. So I've ended up with blue just because I wrote down Old Fairground as a note.
Old
Fairground.
Like
you know, that like oily kind of machines that shouldn't be running anymore, but you still go on them.
No, I get it.
And then 12-year-old Scotch. I thought it reminded me of that's pretty preemptive. I shouldn't say this 'cause I'll embarrass myself. But at first, it reminded me of Deanston 12, but then they had like a really sulfury side to it. So I just went with that because that was the last sticker I had left. So I've gone orange.
So you've gone for orange with. So you're blue for the antique and orange for the 12-year-old Scotch. Yes. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to try my very, very hardest not to make a mess of this. What I may do actually is hide the slide for now, just because in the past I have.
Do we close our eyes now? Because you have shown before, haven't you?
Yeah, I have made a mistake before. I'm hoping that I'm not going to do that tonight. So let me see if I can hide this slide.
I only gave you one, though. Should I give you more? One answer.
No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you in a second to hold up everything. So hold up all your colours so that we can see. We don't need to run through them all. You're in charge of keeping your own scores. Just hold them up and lock them in. There's Iain's up there on screen. Fantastic. There's Jenny's.
I think 1 and 2 are the wrong way around, though.
Fantastic. And Shane. And okay, so we've got the colours in. You've all committed. Brilliant. That's enough. Good. So now you can keep your own scores at the end. When the final reveal happens, you'll be able to work out how many of those you got right, as well as the semi-blind matchup.
Here, I think Jimmy is being really cheeky here.
No, Jimmy Legg getting cheeky. That never happens, apart from every week in vPub. What is he saying? As long as he's not being rude to you.
You can close your eyes without using your hands, Jenny.
That's right. Well, he does have a point. I don't know if that's less cheek and more just very, very succinct, right? It's like, okay, here we go. I'm about to reveal to you what you are sipping, okay?
No. What?
I'm going to tell you what you're sipping, but you don't know which is which still.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, I remember now. Completely in control.
Okay. First bottle, Loch Lee.
Ooh.
This is the cast strength release from Loch Lee.
Ah, right.
60.1% ABV.
60.1, wow.
Next bottle, Highland Park, 12-year-old.
Oh.
Very old antique bottle of Highland Park 12. Okay. 40% ABV. Next up, Glenglassaugh's brand new 12-year-old release.
I wanted to try that one. Have I tried it tonight then? That's amazing.
You tried it tonight, Jenny, yep. 45% ABV. Very strange. Then we have Wireworks.
Oh.
Now, this is where they switched it up a little bit and they went further into the cut points and called this release their alter ego.
Someone was just talking about this on my tasting earlier.
Oh,
raving about it in positive senses. But yeah.
Fantastic. 51.5% ABV. And finally, literally one of my favorite drams of 2023, which I would never expected at all, is a blend. This is the Turntable.
Oh.
This is the Purple Haze from Turntable, 46% ABV. I must be getting a bit of a sap in my old age. Just absolutely loving this bottle to the point that I was grudging every sample I poured for y'all. Really loved it. So there you go. Now, I know that doesn't really help you too much. I'll bring this up on screen so you can see. It just gives everybody a bit of a summary. 12-year-old Glenglassaugh, 45% ABV. Turntable, 46%. Loch Lee's cast strength. Loch Lee just came out in the last few weeks. Barely a month on the market, 60.1% ABV. The same with Alter Ego, it's a brand new product, 51.5. And of course, Highland Park, that's been around for getting on for 30 years now. I think Highland Park 12-year-old's been out there on the market. So this one goes back to the early 2000s. And I can date that bottle quite accurately because there's a promotional slip in the carton that expires on the 31st of December 2003. So probably that came out in 2002 or 2003, right?
Yeah.
So there you have it. So that's it. It's pretty easy now, isn't it?
I finished.
This is
You
where I
finished.
could...
Yay.
Let's go to the pub.
Let's
Hang
go
on.
to the pub. Well, you're in the pub. You're literally in the vPub. There we go. So this is why Jimmy's complaining, because they're all, like I said to you, they are an eclectic mix of whiskies. They are all a wee bit off the wall there. But the theme tonight was whiskies that I've been opening and enjoying on the vPub in the first half of this year. That was the only thing that linked them. And whiskies that in some way you could make a remark upon. And that doesn't mean that I absolutely loved it. I just found it interesting. There was a story behind it, something or other. That's the only thing that links these. And just the fact that I thought it might be fun to share them with all you guys.
Yeah, that's cool. I was speaking to Ali recently about Turntable. I've not had a chance to try any of his stuff yet, so it's cool to be able to have a look.
Yeah.
So is it Ali and Gordon, is it?
Yeah,
the two brothers, right? So I'd never heard of the two brothers until Turntable came along. I know they've been in the industry for a while in separate roles, but
their dad's a bit of an industry legend as well, Graham.
Oh, Graham Stevenson.
Yeah, they come from whiskey lineage, but they're all really sound guys, really nice bunch.
Yeah. Well, I didn't jump in immediately because of the price. The first three, their inaugural releases, if you like, track 1, 2, and 3, were all kind of 68, 69, 70 pounds, which seemed pricey, right? But then when the chatter starts and when some people start to try it, but the only one they've got a fire starter and they've got Joy. I don't remember what the other one is, and the Purple Haze is the one I picked. It's the only one I've bought so far. And I'm enjoying my time with it. I'm very much enjoying it to the point I want to take it on holiday with me tomorrow. Anyway, the last thing I'm going to do, the last time I'm going to drop you into the background is just to give you some time to chew on the semi-blind matchup. It's the last thing you have to do, and then you're committed. Then your score is your score. All that's left for you to do is enjoy the whiskies, and then potentially be brutalized by a Menno quiz. I'm not really sure. Aye, we'll see how we go on. See you all in a second.
See you in a bit.
Anybody? Is there anybody feeling? I mean, apart from Jeff, obviously, who's gone from being super scared to super confident. Are you feeling confident now, Shane? You look pretty steady.
Nope.
No. Oh wow. Yeah.
Shane is being quiet. I think he's nailed it.
I'm glad I'm giving that impression.
Smile on the outside, scream on the inside. That's the key.
That's it.
That's right.
Gordon's been brave. He's already posted his answers in the chat, I noticed.
Who's posted his answer?
Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's looking after his own scores. So he's saying yellow Loch-Lee, Helen Park red, Glenglassaugh green, Wireworks orange, and then that leaves obviously Turntable for blue again. Oh no, I don't know what's left. I don't know what colour's left. Yeah, he has. But if you follow Gordon, you'll either do very well or not. So you can't. I mean, it's much like following each other in the chat right now. It's just you have to kind of do the very best you can, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll see you back here in about 3, 4, 5 minutes time. Okay.
Okay.
See you in a second. Good luck.
I have no more stickers.
You've got coloured pens. You'll be fine.
Okay.
I've no more stickers. McAllen Rare Doc is saying Aquaviti, Turntable, Balmenic, Pedro Jimenez, Sherry Punch, and Craigellachie Oloroso, 42%, Inver Gordon, Sherry Barrel, 14%. That's absolutely right, Doc. I had it on a vPub a few weeks back, and I had to talk about it, and I think I've talked. Maybe there's 2 vPubs actually I've spoken about this. The Blend vPub, the year of the blend, this Turntable appeared, and also on the best of 2023 so far. I know it's called Purple Haze, but for me, I want it to be. It's a dark red whiskey. The flavor in this, I taste dark. Everything is dark red, and I know that it's because it's blended whiskey. I know that it's just the way that it's been put together and things. But when I'm in the mood for that flavor, there's just nothing else on my shelves that will deliver what that wee bottle of Purple Haze is delivering for me. It's just hit a spot for me at a point in time, and it's just worked very, very well. It cost me 70 quid. I've still, the jury's out on whether I would run out and spend another £70 to replace it or not. But I have to say, I'm enjoying it, is where we stand just now. But the good thing about it is, and they actually put those details on the back of the label doc. You can see here, they don't tell you the ages of the individual parcels, but you're right. Craigellachie Oloroso, 42%, 44% Balmenic, Pedro Jimenez, and 14% Invergordon. Only 14% is grain whiskey. That's when you know it's a very, very deliberate attempt to do something very specific, I think. That's my gut feel on it anyway. Arnie Tiger is saying, I'm late tonight, but you guys look like you're having a good time. Arnie, we are having a good time, and I hope you are too, my friend. Trying hard not to drink too much, actually, because up early in the morning. Whiskey Wolf is saying, do you have any info about the Glenglassaugh 12? If it's chill filtered and if it's coloured, I couldn't find anything online or the bottle and the label about that. Whiskey Wolf, I slipped into a wee bit of a rant about the Glenglassaugh presentation, its positioning, and its... I don't know why it's been decided to put out at 45%. I don't know why they've chosen to launch a new range product when it was fully natural. The range was fully natural, and they've gone with this 45% ABV and not making any statements on the label about whether it's coloured. We believe it to be not coloured. Cal Whisky was in a couple of weeks ago confirming it was natural coloured. But honestly, if it's not on the label, it doesn't really help us. It's just a weird presentation. Don't know. It's just odd. I would love to be in a fly on the wall when that was decided. Danny Hevington has seen these blind tastings are so much fun to watch. Really does show the diversity and the beautiful dram. That's exactly, you've hit the nail right on the head, Danny. The diversity and the beautiful dram, and the diversity and the beautiful whiskey folk that enjoy the beautiful dram, right? We're all very, very different, and we love it. Whiskey Vault is saying, spoiling the dot. And Don Miguel is saying, oh, wow, did I? Oh, dear, yes. Well, maybe they weren't watching when that happened. Don Miguel is saying, Roy, why can't we get any official bottling of Balmenic in the shelves? It's a shame, such a characterful spirit. That's right, Inverhouse. There's nothing Balmenic. You occasionally see it from Indies, but even then it's not very often. There is a Deerstalker release from Balmenic out there on the market, but generally speaking, it's hard to get a hold of. I would love to see a core range of Balmenic. One of the Worm Tub distilleries as well. Inverurie Whiskey Shop, good to see you in. Same as Glendronach. Less info means they can change it as and when without needing to inform. That is pretty much the point. But I slipped into a bit of a rant on that, but I was bloody frustrated because I'm excited to see Glenglassaugh go from being a brand new raw spirit, a revived distillery, to all intents and purposes, a new distillery, honestly. And it gets better and it gets better. It's better. Whether you're looking at the Torfa, the revival, or the evolution, it's getting better every time. But for me, the pinnacle was that evolution. So ironic, the name evolution, because they then get it to a point where they've got mature stock. They bring out the Port Soy non-age statement, the Sandend non-age statement. I've still to try those, but I went for the 12-year-old. I wanted to see what they'd done with the 12-year-old. I knew that it was at 45% ABV. Listen, it's a nice whiskey, but it just falls short. It's almost a perfect whiskey. But like you say, it gives them the flexibility to play around with filtration and colour. I don't know. You're welcome, Whiskey Wolf. And I know why, says Jimmy Legg. Ruining whiskey is fun. It must be. Look at how many people do it. Unfortunately, you're absolutely right. Peter Lee is in. He's obviously finished his shift tonight. Good to see you in, Peter. Good to welcome you on a Thursday night. Hope you're not too tired, buddy. And he's bought me a super generous dram. Absolutely fantastic to welcome you in, buddy. I hope you're doing well. Wonderful to see you welcoming the star, Dan Dawkins, as well. Peter, you're a wonderful barfly and a wonderful host. Cheers to you both. And thank you for the dram. I'm getting a really sweet, rich orange cordial from that green, from the green one tonight. Quite amazing. And it's specifically like cordial. I'm enjoying it. Okay, I think it's time. It's time to get these folk in and see if they're ready to commit. It's the last thing that they have to do. What I can do now is I can unhide that so that all of you can go back to seeing the colours again. I hope I didn't give anything away there. I'll bring in Jeff one more time. I'll bring in Jenny one more time. I'll bring in Shane. And I'll bring in Iain. Confidence. Let's see the confidence. You've nailed this, haven't you? No. I see. I think there is a wee bit of a hack tonight, but we'll wait and see. I don't know how best to do this. I think what we will do is we will just, for posterity, just hold up your colours in front of the screen like you did the last time, and then it's locked in. Okay. Then whatever we discuss from this point on is based on that. So your little scorecard with your colour dots in, just hold it up in front of the screen quickly, and we'll see how you're doing. Good stuff. Oh, we've got some consensus there.
I thought we were almost the same there, Jeff.
Wow.
Great minds.
Wow.
Jamie Leggett's going to have to show me how to do this because I'm clearly not.
Amazing. So there is some consensus here, right? I'm looking around and there is some consensus. So, okay. I'm going to share with you one at a time what they are, and then we'll drop the summary slide. And we're just going to be watching for your reactions. You are permitted to drop a head into a glass, to thump the table, to throw despair, but you're also permitted to pump this, to just celebrate and just be super happy if you get something or a lot of things.
Look
correct.
What I got.
Oh, wow. I don't know if that's interesting or just freaky. I'll
tell you what, it is my dad's office, so it's freaky.
Freaky things. Wow.
Anyway, look. Let's go for it.
Are you confident, Jenny?
No.
I think you might be doing okay. Let's start off with, from henceforth, it'll always be known as the goose. So this Lochlee, the 60.1% ABV cast strength Lochlee, 60.1% on the labels, every bit of 60.1% in the glass as well. I think that there was quite a lot of you nailed the goose, right? You've been able to pick this out. So this was a new Scotch distillery, brand new. Nobody had heard of Lochlee until 2021, and all of a sudden they had new whiskey to sell. It just appeared from nowhere, the stealth distillery down there in Ayrshire, quite amazing. I can tell you that our green, is anyone else getting orange cordial on green? Like, you know, like Kiora?
Oh, I got a Swedish soft drink called a julmust, which is like a soda for Christmas and Easter. It's really sweet, that kind of, cola cubey.
Yeah.
When you say cordial, do you mean ketchup?
No. You said ketchup earlier. You did. You absolutely did. But I don't know. I don't know if who knows the brand Kiora, right? I know it's not been around for years, but you know,
it's like a kind of confected, slightly kind of almost like perfumey orangey thing. It's like it's kind of sweet.
Sweet syrupy orange. Yes.
Yeah, super sweet.
Exactly like that. Yeah. It's incredible how potent it is tonight for me. But anyway, for me, that one was our Highland Park Green.
Oh. Wow. Well, okay,
Highland
so
Park
hang on a minute.
Green.
That is a 12-year-old Scotch, so I technically got that one right then.
Well, you can play that game if you like, but absolutely, there is a wee bit of overlap there. If, 12-year-old core range Scotch, Highland Park is still 12-year-old core range Scotch today. I guarantee you, and I have done it, I've sipped 3 or 4 expressions of Highland Park together. And there is some DNA, there is an overlap there. It's quite amazing. But they are remarkably, remarkably different. But I don't think there's a whiskey in existence that could be the same in 2023 that was bottled in 2003. It's just, it's not, to ask for consistency out of malt whiskey, I think is a mistake that a lot of us make. Okay, I can tell you that our blended Scotch whiskey tonight, our Turntable Purple Haze, was, I'm looking at the reactions, orange.
Ooh!
Well,
I had to do it.
There's somebody being very, very cool. I noticed somebody with a 5 out of 5 at the end being very, very cool.
Shame.
So that means that our last two is our 12-year-old Scotch and our English new distillery. The English is red and the 12-year-old core range Scotch is blue. Very cool.
Huh?
Very. Now that's amazing because one of you I was able to appreciate managed to get a 5 out of 5 on the semi-blind matchup at the end. I felt like the hack tonight was ABV.
Yeah,
ABV.
probably.
If you were struggling with profile, if you were struggling with style and things like that, I think if you'd have spent a bit of time focusing on ABV, especially at the semi-blind point, you could have been able to tease out and do quite well at the end. However, that said, I know it's not easy. Jimmy Legg is saying, don't you think that Glenfiddich 12 has done a pretty good job of maintaining its profile over the last 20 years? Yes, absolutely, Jimmy. That's true. But I'll give you if you remind me and when you're here in September, I'll give you an antique Glenfiddich 12 that'll knock you in your backside and make you realise that whiskey doesn't taste like that anymore. Whether it's something you prefer, the way that whiskey's gone, it might be better today for you, or you might prefer the older style. But I can tell you that it is a remarkably different product. That said, Glenfiddich has the stocks, the depth of stocks. They're probably one of the biggest examples of being able to maintain consistency, which is why they launched in the early 60s as they did, selling malt whiskey as opposed to a blend. Mikey Hayes is in. Good to see you, Mikey. And Gordon Fraser is putting in his score as a 4 out of 10 disaster. It's not a disaster if you had fun, buddy. It's not a disaster at all. So that's our benchmark. Who can beat Gordon Fraser tonight? I'm wondering if Rob Halford is doing any better. Have we got any messages in from Rob? Here we are. Okay, he is sharing some things with me. He's been committing to the noon. Okay. Yes. Well, I think Rob did okay. Rob is beating Gordon on a 5 out of 10. So there you are. Our control in the chat, Gordon and Rob getting 4 and 5. I know that one of you have beaten that. I'm not sure how everyone's getting on. Anybody doesn't want to share their score?
Happy to share. I'm a 4 with Gordon.
4 for Jenny. Fantastic. Jeff doesn't want to share?
I can beat a 4. I got 2.
2? You get 2?
I think so, yeah.
I thought you were doing amazingly. I thought when you held that up there as well, and you were feeling confident in things. Jeff, please come back again. Not only will we improve on that 2 out of 10, but being able to just say, yeah, I got a 2.
Proud.
That's what we should be doing with blind tasting. That's the type of thing that we should be encouraging people to step forward and say, this is not easy. It's very, very tricky to do, especially when I cook your palate with rocket fuel goose material. Shane, how did you get on?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I lost track towards the end there. I got the Loch Lee as the yellow and the Highland Park as the antique on green.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Glenglassaugh, you're saying, sorry, you got that. You got those two. Glenglassaugh orange, that's the turntable. Wireworks blue, that's the red. And the turntable is orange. So on the semi-blind matchup, you got 2. What did you get? Did you get anything from the first? New Scotch, that was yellow. New English was red. So those are flipped around. You got those two confused back to front. Amazing. Blended Scotch, you chose the Highland Park. Early 2000s, you chose the turntable. That's because there's probably some quite old stock in there too. And the 12-year-old Scotch, you got blue. So you got one right. So you're on a 3. You're on a 3. Tough
oh, look, Iain.
Finally, redemption.
Right, okay. Well, we do. I mean, there is extra. Can we all just be honest? We are YouTube channels and we present and we have opinions about Scotch whiskey and we want to be seen to do well and things. Of course we do. We work in whiskey and we make whiskies and we get involved in blending, Jenny, don't we? But we actually have somebody in the chat tonight whose title is Master Blender. I know. So the pressure is, you can't get away from it as much as I want to talk it down. Iain, how did you get on?
So after I got 2 in the last one, and I didn't do particularly well in the challenge, I got 5 out of 5 in the last bit, so I got 7, which is quite happy with.
I saw that you got a 5 out of 5 at the end.
Yeah, so I had them all cut with water and then re-poured them all and tried them all at strength. So to be fair, that was probably a bit of the strength was a definite help.
Yes, the ABV I think was the key to unlocking it, and that
I tend to hear that you said it was industry against YouTubers. So, I mean,
Yes, we will.
I'm just going to
no, Jenny Karlsson. You can't suddenly come along at the end and say. Well, if we did go industry versus YouTubers, that would mean that it's one each.
Yeah.
So
I lost it for the industry last time.
so there you go.
Shame.
So you're going to be feeling, especially after a hard day's graft at Glencadam and a tasting tonight and a cold and a blocked nose, you still managed to pull through and redeem yourself from the last time you did a blind. But I know, Iain, that you'll step forward and do a blind challenge in the future again.
Absolutely.
And you'll not step into that again.
It's like you said, though. I mean, I got kind of lucky with the ABVs, to be fair. But I mean, I didn't do particularly well in the first part, and it's not. Whiskey's so different to how it was when every distillery had one expression, and you could kind of back in the day when every distillery in Speyside had one thing they brought out, you could tell the differences. Now it's so hard with different SKUs and different things. So and like you said, I don't know why I put green as English. I thought you were trying to mess with us, and there was some new peated English distillery I'd not heard of. But maybe I should have played it more easy. But turntable was really good. I said that the purple haze I was wanting to try anyway, so I was quite happy with that. But yeah, no, it's not an easy thing to do, and I'm pretty sure I'll absolutely goof it up next time. So
that's right, and you make a really good point, because we're beyond the stage that, I mean, there are still distilleries that's trying to maintain a very, very consistent profile, but that's mostly because they're needed for blending stock.
Yeah,
and they need to try and fit the same thing every single time. But for the most part, those days are gone. Single malt and the appreciation of the variety of single malt has exploded so much that you're absolutely right. It's very, very difficult to tie down distilleries or profiles.
100%.
What we want to lean on blind tasting today for is twofold, I think. To judge the whiskies, just on a flavour and value proposition, do we enjoy them or not? And also, more than anything, to keep our minds open. Oh, I don't like English malt whiskey. I don't like wine cask maturation. My favourite tonight has, it's Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez, right? But it's my favourite has been as something I wouldn't normally choose as a flavour profile. So I think blind tasting is also brilliant at cracking your mind open as well and keeping it open. I'm going to say thank you all dearly for your trust, for your humility, and for your misplaced confidence as well. It's brilliant. and listen, if any of you guys want to do the same and do the exact same to me, then absolutely, you can't. I can't dish out the medicine without accepting a wee bit. So I'm more than happy to participate. Are you in a position where you'd like to redeem yourself? Are you in a position that you would like to stay a wee bit longer and participate in a quiz at the end? Now, we don't have...
Initially, I'd said yeah, but I think I should quit while I'm ahead. No, I'll stick around.
Well, Menno is saying he's here. Oh my goodness, I know why he's not in. Because Menno doesn't have... He doesn't have the link. Oh, poor Menno. Poor Menno. I'm saying, I've been waiting. So that means that we do have a host tonight as well. Fantastic. So yes, but here's the thing. I'm blind for this one as well, so I'm participating along with you. So I get to go through a wee bit of the discomfort too. Menno's earned a name for himself as Lord Asshat over the years of hosting vPub quizzes, but he did hint that he might go a wee bit lighter on us because it's at the end of the season finale, and a wee bit of a celebration. We'll see. I don't know. Are you all up for it? Shane, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'll go for it.
Yeah, good to see you. Fantastic. It's easy to get people to go along if you ask them. You will come on and participate in the show in the future, Iain. Yes, I will. Asking you live, and then ask Shane the exact same thing. So when Menno pops in, or if he pops in, he's maybe in a huff with me and he's gone off to his bed. We can get the quiz going at the end. Jimmy Legg is saying Menno has earned a lot of names. That's right. Here he is. Let's bring him in.
Have you given him an ass hat yet? Like a physical...
Yes.
Clothing?
Yeah,
Tim Hoekstra in the Netherlands sent to Menno in Belgium literally a Lord Asshat crown.
Good
There
evening.
it is, and he's got it on his head. Can we see that? Lean forward a wee bit, my friend. Let's have a look at it. There you go. Literally,
Love it.
Lord Asshat. Fantastic, just fantastic. It was Tim Hoekstra that sent you that, right?
Yep, it was.
Fantastic. Menno, thank you very much. I know you're just back from work. Thank you for putting the effort into the quiz and up front. Thank you for stepping forward. It's always a pleasure to have you, buddy. Have you gone easy on us this evening?
Yeah, I don't need a cap tonight. It'll be an easy one.
Do you think so? So either we're all a wee bit more afraid, or we relax a wee bit too much. It looks like Roddy Graham is in tonight as well. I see some people mentioning Roddy. Good to see you in. Peter Lacey, I want to say thank you for making me feel part of this community. And lately, Danny Keenan was here for Whisky Wednesday at my house. I hope you have a great summer break and see you later. Fantastic. You had Danny Keenan as well. You're such a fantastic host, Peter Lee. It's brilliant to have you as part of our community as well. Whisky with Molly saying, is redemption? No. Repercussion and retribution? Yes. Aquavitae, it's a Menno quiz. Well, we'll see. Inverse Whisky Shop saying, oh man, I was just ready for bed. Okay, hit me. Let's go for it, Menno. Have you got a screen share for me? Yes.
I think I've set it up. Yeah.
Good. I can see your full screen right now. You set it to slideshow.
Yep. That should do it.
Add to stream. Good luck, everyone. Do we all have our wee letters ready?
Oh,
Get your A, B's, and C's out.
Can we do karaoke instead? I'm nervous.
There's no need, Jenny.
Karaoke. That's a great idea for a future vPub, Jenny. I'd be up for that.
A whiskey karaoke.
Right. This is the last vPub quiz at the end. I'm grateful that Menno's stepping forward to host it for us before we go off for summer. Be kind to us, big guy. Take it away.
Always. Okay, question 1. Just this week, Compass Box announced the release of a 180 pounds blended malt called Duality, a collaboration with which distillery? Would that be A, Bimber, B, Chichibu, or C, Daft Mill?
Oh, Sean.
Sean, wait. Hold your water.
We'll wait for Menno to give us a countdown. That's why we're using this rather than shouting it out, so we all hold it up at the same time.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay, then answers in 3, 2, 1. You got a lot of A's, an A. Absolutely. Bimber, good start, everyone. Well done. Okay, then quickly on to question 2. Nine Rivers is an in-the-making Chinese distillery which will what?
Ooh.
A, be producing 7.5 million liters per year. B, be working with different grain varieties and different yeast strains. Or C, be fermenting their wash up to 120 hours.
Okay, here's Lord Asshat. Just singing right in. Okay.
There might be some guesses in tonight. The cool thing about the Nine Rivers Distillery, and I got this from Vin earlier today, is that they broadcast pretty much the entire production process of the building process on YouTube, so you can follow it there. It's pretty cool.
Wow.
Okay, answers in 3, 2, 1. Are we splitting the crowd? A, B, A, B. Okay, and a B. Well, I told you I would be lenient tonight. They're all correct.
I could smell it. This is question 2. I thought, there's no way he can be this brutal this early.
No. Oh, yes, there are ways. Okay, then question 3. Tomintal's core range entry-level expression, and I hope I don't butcher this, tla, translates to what in Gaelic? Is it A, welcome, B, gentle or smooth, or C, round, as in to buy someone or some folk a drink? Tla translates to what in Gaelic? Iain, I'm looking at you here.
Bit of an unfair advantage.
There is some guesswork going on here for me.
Okay, answers in 3, 2, 1. B. A lot of B's. Tomintal is known as the gentle dram, so obviously it would be normal for them to name their entry-level expression smooth or gentle. Well done.
Probably
Yeah.
a lot of educated guesses there.
Yeah.
Well done. Quickly onwards to question 4. As the crow flies, Nakneen and Ardamurchan are practically neighbors, just 10 kilometers apart. But by car, it's a tad longer. Just how much longer? Is it A, just short of 30 kilometers? Is it B, 52 kilometers? Or is it C, 74 kilometers?
We're all looking at Jenny for this one. I'm going to say, wow. Okay, I'm locked in.
Ready? Okay, 3,
Oh.
2, 1. Answers, please.
Oh my
We
goodness.
got an A, we got a B, we got a C from Roy, a B from oh dear. Well, at least someone is still on a 4 out of 4, and it's Roy. Well done. It's 74 kilometers.
Sorry, remember
by
your
road.
humility, big guy. Well, I think is it 26 miles from the Corran Ferry? Would that be right, Jenny?
It is quite far. I just know I've done the journey a couple of times and it's very long, but it's because the roads are so rubbish.
Yeah. There you go, 10 kilometers by boat.
Oh, I'm going to get so hammered for that.
Yeah. As long as you get to work, you don't really know. You need to know how many kilometers you've traveled to get there, right?
Okay, then the picture question: where would you find this cork? Is it A, on a bottle of Arran, B, on a bottle of Port Charlotte, or C, on a bottle of Edredar?
Wow.
That's not even subtle, is it?
Well, like I had to turn around to look.
Ah! I'm on with the flies.
Okay, I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Answers, please. A all around. Absolutely well done.
Thank you, Barflies.
I had never ever noticed it before, man.
No,
Never noticed
me
it.
neither.
Wow. But it's through.
It's pretty nifty, I think.
Yeah, it's a nice touch.
Yeah.
It looks cool. It's their coordinates, isn't it?
Yep.
Like it.
So, how are we all doing for scores halfway through the quiz?
Well, I can leave for holiday now. I've got my passport. I'll
right,
just leave the vPub running and I'll come and kill it at 7:30 in the morning, okay?
Sure, we'll entertain ourselves.
Oh,
Okay.
lots of 5 out of 5s in the chat as well.
Well
Superb
done,
stuff,
everyone. Okay, as always, the second part of the quiz is supposed to be a little bit harder, so onwards to question 6. What do the ghost distilleries Ben Wyvis, Ladyburn, Kinclade, and Inverleven all have in common? Is it that they are A, they were all founded in the same year? Is it B, they were all closed in the same year? Or C, they were all malt distilleries operating within a grain distillery? Is it a banana skin? Could be.
Ooh.
I think this is the toughest one of the evening.
Mm-hmm.
If that helps.
This is the banana skin then. I just feel like Ben Wyvis. Ben Wyvis is one of these flash in the pan 5-minute distilleries.
Yeah, they're still in Kilcairn.
Yep, they are.
Okay. Inverleven stills are in Waterford, right? Or they were? Is that right? Okay. Let's go.
1, 2, 3. Answers, please. You got an A, a C, a C. Okay. Well done, most of you. All of them were operating in a grain distillery.
Oof.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
So which grain distill was it? Invergordon? Was Ben Wivison in Invergordon?
I'll need to look. I think
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Okay, I
I
think
can
it must
look. I
be
can look it up at the
there.
end.
Yeah.
Oh,
Question 7.
yeah.
Which
Rod is saying yes. He
Yeah.
did say he agreed. Sorry.
Okay. Which distillery matches this description? It's equipped with a 4.9-ton cast iron mash tun, has 6 stainless steel washbacks with a fermentation time of approximately 52 hours, and has 1 pair of stills.
I need the answers to give us the answer.
Oh,
here.
it's bid on team. Is it A, Glencadam, B, Towel, or C, Ardnamurchan?
Oh, you're pandering to our participants. Menno, you're a sweetheart. You're a sweetheart. I mean, I don't love you right now, but
Menno, when does the question on bottle slapping come up?
Patience, my dear boy.
Ian, is
Right.
that you?
Is it you?
No.
Well, if any of you feel like debating the answer, then you should all have a talk with Mr. Rond, I think. Okay, answers in 3, 2, 1.
Oh.
Sorry, I thought I better not give it away too early. But...
Oh, you're cheating.
Well-
We're supposed to be in the same team.
Well,
we're in the same team.
Fine.
it was
Whatever.
Glencadam. Well done, Ian.
Superb. I have to say I was guessing that one. I mean, I knew it wasn't Ardnamurchan because of the cast iron mash tun. But I had no idea about the mash tun.
I think Tomental is more than 1 set of stills.
Yeah, Tomental's 2 pairs. So when the question came up, I was like, that sounds like Glencadam. I've always rounded it up to 5 tons, and then then it came up. I was like, surely it won't be 2 questions about it. But thank you, Menno.
You're welcome. You can send that bottle over later. And,
Fantastic.
Question 8. Which of these facts about the newly revived Rosebank distillery is not true? So 2 of the following are true. 1 is not true. Is it that A, to allow flexibility and variety, a Lomond still will be used? Is it B, the wash still's neck is capped and is lacking a swan neck? Or is it C, they will partly produce triple distilled whiskey? There have to be a couple of tougher questions in the quiz, or it wouldn't be a Menno quiz now, would it?
This is a tough one.
So when do the easy ones start?
Because
How are you doing, Jeff?
they will partly produce triple distilled whiskey. Wow.
Or some of the production will be triple distilled.
I was under the impression that all of it was going to be triple distilled. Okay.
Or it could be.
Okay. All right.
Read it. Then leave out the partly bit and just go for they will produce triple distilled whiskey. Answers in 3, 2, 1. So A, C, B, C, A.
Almost went with B and
Jenny and Jeff are the comeback kids.
Oh,
yes.
There won't be a Lomond still. There won't
We
be
knew
a
it.
Lomond still.
Yeah.
Well done, Jeff.
Oh, because it's not true.
No,
you
not true.
idiot.
Yeah, it's a negative. I was thinking you were saying, what were you saying there?
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Idiot. Okay, I really need a holiday now. Thanks for everyone. Thanks for the season's over. I'm just till August. Bye.
I didn't know the bit about their line arms. That's cool. Or
Okay, then here's a question to cater
I don't
to
deserve it.
Jeff.
I don't deserve it.
Question 9. Which of these fine folk has yet to appear as a guest slapper on Jeff Whiskey? Here's your question, Jeff. Is it A, Shane from the Whiskey Lock? Is it B, Roy from some other whiskey channel? Or is it C, Jenny Karlsson from Ardnamurchan? Who is yet to slap a bottle on Jeff's Whiskey channel? A, B, or C?
So when does the one that I meant to know come up?
Oh, dear God.
One of you should know. 2 of you should know the answer, but one of you will definitely know the answer.
Loving the Scotch Mist. I'm loving the Scotch Mist and the Glencadam 18, Ian. Well done.
Cheers. Yeah, I've got a little bit on the go too, actually. Cheers.
I don't have one, but I don't know if anybody noticed.
I would have sent you one in advance.
Soon. Very
I was
soon.
up in Nigneen. I was 74 miles away, or 74 kilometers away.
Burn. Oh.
Okay, answers in 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
C.
I really
Anyone?
needed Jenny to answer C.
yeah, I'm guessing I'm wrong.
Yeah. Absolutely, it was Jenny.
Yeah, I would have remembered if I was on there, surely.
Yeah. Okay.
Now,
everybody...
Menno,
Yes.
you know, in order for me to get 10, you need to have 11 questions.
Yeah,
right?
I'm sorry. I did check the number of questions this evening, and I'm afraid there's just 10, Roy. So you'll
Only
have to
10
do for
tonight.
yeah,
Oh, well,
you'll
okay.
have to do for a 9 or an 8. You're for 8 for 9.
9.
Is every-
yeah, 9.
is
I'm going for 9.
everybody-
I'm shooting for 9.
Is everybody on a pass mark then? Yeah, surely.
Yes,
I'm
absolutely.
doing amazingly.
All right. So yeah, okay, well done. Then it's time to roll on the asshat question. The combined production capacity of Ardnamurchan, Glencadam, and Tomental is what, give or take 500,000 liters? Is it A, the same as all distilleries owned by Angus Dundee? Is it B, the same as all distilleries owned by Iain MacLeod? Or is it C, the same as that of Dalhuin?
Oh. Well, Iain, I would ask you, but I don't think we're friends anymore.
I don't know the answer to this either, to be fair.
No, I'm joking. I don't know.
Well, I can tell you, there's one that makes no sense, so that helps.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. That'll be the one I pick.
Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
But you have to know that it makes no sense, if that makes sense.
Yes. I guess cruising the question.
You've just gone really meta now, Roy.
Yes.
I will one know it does not make sense if they do not know it does not make sense.
That's right.
Oh, my head hurts.
Okay, answers in 3, 2, 1. We've got B, C's, and C's. Well, Angus Dundee is obviously Tomental and Glencadam. And
Yep.
I think Glencadam is about 1.3 millions.
Yeah.
Tomental is about 3.3.
Yeah. So
Millions.
unless Ardnamurchan are silent that year.
Ardnamurchan is about 500,000, 400,000, 500,000 liters, Jenny?
Just under 400, yeah.
Yeah, but the production capacity is around 500,000 in
Yeah.
theory. Yeah.
Mm.
So basically, all answers are correct because give or take 500,000 liters.
Give or take 500,000 liters. You
clever.
slippery,
What?
gorgeous little Belgian. A freebie asshat then. Look
I
what you
mean,
made.
what? Oh, but
Look what you made me do. I've gone all soft. Oh.
I didn't make you do it. I didn't make you do it. Did I?
No.
Whisky with Molly is celebrating a 10 out of 10. That's better than any of us could do here, buddy.
Nice.
Congratulations to you. There's
Oh.
loads of 9 out of 10s. Whiskey Wings, Mike, you star. 9 out of 10. People shouting, screaming your name from the crowd, Menno. Menno.
I
that
told
mean
you
that-
I can play nice.
You did.
that was a nice quiz, actually. I've had worse from you.
Yes.
Yes, I believe so.
Absolutely fantastic. Let's see how we're getting on. Rob Halford, there's lots of exclamations. There's lots of emotion spilling out of the chat. Andrew Hammaker is saying 9 out of 10. He's celebrating. He's happy. 9 out of 10 for, it jumped. Sorry. David Brody is in. You got an 8 out of 10. Well done. Where's Roy? Good to see you, Roy Ovimere, over in Norway. On a 10, celebrating a 10. Fantastic. Too slow. That's Rob. He's celebrating, but I don't know what his score was. Helen is saying 9 out of 10. Happy with that in a Menno quiz. We all are, believe me. I only managed an 8 tonight. Roddy Graham beats me. He's on a 9. Well done, Roddy. Superb. I wonder what one slipped you slipped up on tonight. Rob Halford is on a 10 out of 10. Pedro Menezes is on a 10 out of 10. Andrew Butler, of course, Andrew, you had to get it. And the thing is, Andrew wasn't guessing tonight. Andrew knew every single one of these answers. That's the difference. Fantastic. Ben with Whisky with Molly, as I mentioned. Lots of 10 out of 10s to end the season. Absolutely terrific stuff. Rob Halford is first 10 out of 10. He's going to be running around his bedroom right now with his t-shirt off, right? He's doing circuits of his Fantastic, Rob. Congratulations. I'll come into the chat because I want to say goodbye to the chat and spend a minute just being very, very grateful and thankful to you all. Aberdeen Whisky Shop is saying, sorry, Inverurie Whisky Shop is saying, Aquavite right now, definitely night. Great to see you all. Brilliant insight and night. Let me, did you share Inverurie how you got on? A 9 out of 10 you did, thanks to 2 great questions where nobody got them wrong. We have to celebrate the freebies, don't we, buddy? Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks to all of you. Menno, thank you. I know that you were working late shift tonight. I know that this was tough. You had to plan ahead to do this. The fact that you were keen to do it just fills me full of...
It's the end of season. How could I refuse?
Yes, absolutely, buddy. But I love it. I do. I love it. And I love the ability to be able to participate too. It's like when I said when I was talking about the blind challenge, I'm more than happy to step forward and do it. But all of you, just sending out an invite and saying, come on and do a quiz. Come on and do blind tasting. Sip whiskies that you don't know what they are live. And there might be people out there in the wider universe thinking, no, this is staged. There's no way that people would be brave enough to do this, especially if they ran a YouTube channel with opinions on whiskey, especially if they made whiskey, if they were involved in the production of whiskey. But the more we do this, the more we can teach people that whiskey is there to teach us.
100%.
We need to stay open-minded. We need to work out what it's all about. We need to let whiskey lead us a little bit. But thank you for your trust. Thank you all very, very much. And I hope that none of you are at a stage where you would say no the next time because you all accepted so quickly. Thank you. Cheers.
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 Hands up if you're up for doing it again. Over on Jeff Whiskey's channel.
Yes, Jeff.
I don't know what I'm doing on this one, let alone my own one.
Party at yours.
Brilliant.
Party
Brilliant.
at Jeff.
Bring your own goose.
Bring your own goose.
Oh, lots of love and super chats coming in. Fantastic. Tommy, I want to say, love Menno's new handle. You slippery, gorgeous Belgian. Love it. Good night. Was it slippery or sneaky? I don't know which one or the other. They both fit.
Either.
Seb K is in saying happy holidays. Thank you, Tom. Thank you, Seb K. Thanks so much. Rick Johnson has bought us a dram to say have a great holiday, Roy, and we look forward to a great fall. I'll be back here on the 24th of August, Rick. Thank you very much for your dram. Also, Jerry Miller bought us a dram saying enjoy the break, Roy. Thank you very much, Jerry Miller. Looking forward to hanging out with you again through late summer into the autumn. And Jimmy Legg has also bought us a generous dram to say great guests and banter tonight. Thanks, everyone. You too, Jeff. You're going to have fun hosting Jimmy Legg, Jeff, on the 3rd of August, buddy. I wish you all the best of luck. You do need to wear your suit armor for Mr. Legg, but he's always a pleasure. Thank you all for your generous drams. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, Jimmy. And thank you, Rick. Slajaba. Sorry, another one just dropped in from Danny Hebbington. And another one from Alistair. Danny's saying, have a great time with the family, mate. Haste you back. Thank you very much, Danny. Always wonderful to have you in, buddy, and you're always super generous too. And Alistair McPhail, one day you and I will be able to raise a glass. How many times have we missed each other? To celebrate my 10 out of 10, Alistair is saying, and wish you, Lynn and the Waynes, a great summer holiday. Alistair, thank you so much, my friend. And Danny Hebbington, cheers to you all. Wonderful stuff. I'm going to raise a glass to the fun, superb, the antidote to whiskey reviews, Jeff. Fantastic content. There are a few channels out there that as soon as a notification pops up, I watch it. And you're one of them, Jeff. I love it. It's great fun. It's great humor. It's tongue-in-cheek. Sometimes you don't realize the insightful, succinct points that you're making. And maybe you do. Maybe it's just because it's through humor. But I love watching the content. It's great fun. It's a genuine belly laugh. Jimmy Legg feels the exact same way because he messaged me privately to say so. So don't be nervous about hosting Jimmy on the channel. You're going to have a great time the 3rd of August. Jenny Karlsson, you're a superstar. You light it up every time. I love having you in. Great fun, even when you wear coloured dots all over your face and forehead. Shane, I've already talked about the channel tonight, but buddy, keep bringing it, keep doing it, we need voices like yours. We need that contemplative thought. We need if anybody wants an example, I've talked about it before, but Shane's chill filtration video it's just he does home chill filtration just to see if he can affect his whiskey using coffee filters at home. And it's compelling to watch. It genuinely is. It's just great geeky stuff. Shane, I love the content. Keep bringing it, buddy. Iain Forteath, your passion, your excitement for everything that you touch is incredible. If that can come across in the whiskies, the future is bright for all of us casual whiskey sippers and whiskey geeks alike, whether it's from Tomintoul, Glencadam, or wherever, buddy. Thank you for your humility. Thank you for your trust as well. And Menno, what is it? You sneaky, gorgeous Belgian. Thank you for making the time during your busy week as you approach your holidays to step forward and host us for a quiz, buddy. One day you and I will genuinely raise a glass together.
Absolutely.
Here's to all of your summers. Here's to whiskey opening everyone's minds. And let's look forward to enjoying it from, well, for henceforth, forever forward. Thank you all very much for your trust. Cheers.
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 Cheers. Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah, happy holidays.
For anyone who wants to hang about
Part-timers.
after for post credits, just to raise a wee glass. Won't be able to spend too long tonight. Obviously, I have to be up super early in the morning, but I'm very grateful, and I'd like to thank you personally. Thank you, Shane.
Thank
Good
you.
luck, my friend. Thank you, Iain. Good luck with everything. Thank you, Jenny. Everything's going amazing, and in 1 week, 3 new expressions coming out. It's just fantastic. I can't wait to get my head around them. Thank you,
Happy
Jenny.
holidays.
Cheers to you. And thank you, Jeff. Thank you so much, buddy. Good luck with the vPub this summer. Cheers. Menno, you star. Thank you for stepping up. Thank you for wearing the crown one more time. And thank you for almost getting me. See, if all I had to do was read the question and I had to get a 9. And then if I'd stayed steady till the end, the ass hat as well. 8 out of 10, though. I'll take it, buddy. That's a brilliant score.
Absolutely.
That means you'll need to come back. I'm still waiting on my 10 out of 10, my legitimate 10 out of 10 rather than my 10 out of 11, right?
Well, stranger things have happened.
Yes, there's still time, right? If we keep doing it long enough, right, it's just a question of time, right? It's a question of dedication.
Eventually.
It doesn't matter. It's important to me. It's just if it's just you and I don't care. Thank you, my friend. Okay.
Cheers.
Love to you and yours. Have a great summer, my friend. Cheers.
Cool. Cheers.
And all of you, fantastic. I wrote recently about designing a career for yourself. And it's ridiculous because if I went back a decade or so ago, this would have been that perfect thing to design this for me. But there's no way I could have ever even imagined that this could exist, that this could be an option, this could be a thing. And yet it is. But it's only a thing because of all of you, because of you beautiful whiskey folk that just turn up every week and occasionally hit the like button and often leave comments and just watch and view and put up with this comment. It's just never ceases to amaze me. But then some of you step forward to be Barflies, and then more of you step forward to support me in Patreon, which is difficult to fathom, but you do. And it means that this thing exists. And it means that I've got a job where literally I turn up every Thursday night and just feel utterly privileged. And I do have anxiety at this point at the end of the season because I am going into 6 weeks of not getting that fixed, not getting to hang out with you. I know it's a healthy thing to do, but I'm trying very, very hard, in case you haven't picked it up, to convince myself that that's the case. Julian Rickman is saying, great job, well done. Happy holidays. Thank you, Julian. Pedro is saying, enjoy the summer holidays and Barflies. Can't wait for the recycled review. That's coming. The first one will drop the same time, 9:45. vPub time slot in a week from tonight, buddy. I hope you enjoy it. Jimmy Legg is saying, you will be missed, my friend. Thanks for all you do. Jimmy, thank you for being here every single week. Thank you, my dear friend. Pete Head is saying, we made it. More likes than attendees. Balance is restored. It's terrific, Frank. Thank you for being one of the people who just kind of really try and remind people to leave a wee free up thumb. It's superb. Peter is saying, Danny Keenan wants to say thanks for sorting out his polo shirt so quickly. Cheers. No problem. If I could have got it to you quicker, it would have been done. But I think about an 18-hour turnaround isn't bad, is it, Peter? And Graham Young is saying, glad to be here. We'll return soon. Graham from Canada, superb. So great to see you, and I was glad I managed to catch your name. Helen is saying, happy holiday, Roy. I hope you have a great summer, you and Andy. Helen, thanks for being here. And Rick Johnson is saying, you will be missed, Roy. So have a whiskey-filled, Roy-free summer barflies, Sláinte. Let's raise a glass to all of your summer being wonderful, being golden, being amber, being whiskey filled, even if you're in the Southern Hemisphere. Thank you all. You're all very dearly loved, and I look forward to welcoming you back here on the 24th of August. Until then, Sláinte mhath. Thank you, Barflies.